All right, now we're live. All right. All right. All right. What's up? What's up, y'all? Improv 2 live. And I'm going to let the lady introduce herself. My homegirl from Kenya. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. Hey, everyone who is watching. Today, it's an exciting one because we always go live when I'm by myself or with my other girlfriends, YouTubers. But today, I have Jay on board. So, yeah, my name is Anne Sese. If you've never seen me, I'm a Kenyan YouTuber, a growing Kenyan YouTuber. Yeah, so today we're going to have lots and lots of discussion with Jay. He's called Vlog Tripping on YouTube, and it's going to be a very exciting one. So, as you join in, please make sure that you drop your comments below, engage as much as you can, ask as many questions as you can, and we're going to
Yep.
talk about everything today.
Yep. Also introduce myself. So I go by Trini, but Jay is like what my friends call me. So Ancestor is definitely a friend. So I go by Trini online. Vlog Tripping is my channel. It's more of a travel vlogging. We're gonna do some stuff, but mainly a travel channel where I describe my recent exploits of traveling all across the world. And definitely we're gonna focus on one of my favorite places on the planet. No cap. One of my favorite places, Nairobi, Kenya,
Yeah.
which,
Woo!
yep, wait, we get the applause for that one.
Yeah.
And and I have to shout out all my friends from Kenya, all my subscribers from Kenya, because in my demographic for my channel, it's
Mm-hmm.
almost 40% of Kenyans watch my channel.
Wow, that's
So
good.
especially on my new video. So definitely a clap hands for that.
Yay!
I consider myself honorary Kenyan. I wear this
All
everywhere
of
I
us have
travel.
it.
Everywhere I travel, I wear it, and I'm very proud. Um, so yeah, we're gonna focus on Nairobi in particular. I did go visit Diani and Mombasa shortly.
Mm-hmm.
Caribou, Shepherd Warrior, Caribou. um,
Shepherd Warrior, Karibu means welcome.
there you go. We're gonna go through some words that I learned. So also, I was in Kenya a total of 2 months this year. And
Mm-hmm.
also, I was also there a little over a month last year. So it's
Okay.
my third visit, 3 times I've been in Kenya, Nairobi in particular. And I think I have one more coming at the end of the year. I think I could squeeze one more in.
Okay. We are ready to have you.
Yeah. Let me see what other Kenyan words I could say. La 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 la. See, I had everything up like 10 seconds ago. So pardon us as we struggle stream a little bit, but we just actually got our scheduling together because Anne is a very busy person. I'm a very busy person, and it's okay for us to get together. And also, there's a time difference. So, Anne, what time is it over there in Kenya?
It is 9:35 p.m.
And in the U.S. on the East Coast, coming from New York, it's 2:35 p.m. in the day.
Wow.
So definitely, I want to say Sasa to all my Kenyans. Shout out. Um, and talk a little bit for a second. I want to share. I just want to share that I'm live with some of my people.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Okay, so I can see a couple of my subscribers on board. I see Silver Fox, I see Spiral Black, I see Shepherd Warrior, I see Angel Blade. Who else do I see? I see Olav. So thank you guys for coming on board. I see Bat Rose. I don't know if you know him. Maybe he's
Bert
from your
Ross is actually someone I know from our travel space. So shout out to you, Bert Ross. He's a big
okay.
traveler too, man.
Yeah,
So
Bat
shout
Rose
out
is
to
on
him.
board. Your best bet for your move. That's one of my subscribers too. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. I am super, super happy. Today it was an impromptu live. We hadn't scheduled it, but I want to thank each and everyone for you
It's been in the
all
works.
for joining. For joining, yeah. So Vlog Tripping is a YouTuber. He's Trinidadian, and I've done a video with him. So if you're a member of A Squad, I know you pretty much know him. And when he left Kenya, we were like, we need to do this, this live once, a couple of times, even if we are not in the same location. So today we are honored to stream this both on his YouTube and my YouTube. And thank you so much for all of you who are joining: Shepherd Warrior, Silver Fox, Spiral Black, Olav. I've seen Charlie B also. You're on board. Bat Rose, your best yet move. Thank you so much. As we start this, we're going to have lots and lots of discussion. And as we are chatting, we might not be able to see your comments. I'm trying as much as possible to say hi to you guys as you're joining. But yeah, that's it. So, Angel Blade, you're saying you're coming to Kenya. You're very, very much welcome. Yeah,
Yep,
and as
yep.
you've heard, Blog Tripping has been in Kenya for, is it 3 times?
3 times so far.
Yeah, 3 times, and he's planning to come back again. So yeah, that is, it can tell you a lot about Kenya. Yeah, so
Whoa,
welcome.
we just got our first. Didn't mean to interrupt you. We just got our first super chat.
Thank you,
Shout out,
Zach.
shout out, shout out, shout out to. And he just sent a cool emoji. So shout out to him, man,
Thank you so much, Zach.
or
And he
or
has
her.
also,
Zach Fat. I don't know.
let me
Fat might
also
be. I don't
edit.
know. Let us know if you're male or female.
Oh, Zach is male. Zach is male.
Oh, you know him. Okay, okay, okay. My bad,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
My
I
bad.
know him.
Wait, hold on. And Sessa, did you hear about that woman who has high testosterone that beat that other woman that she quit in the Olympics?
Yes, I did.
What? Do you, what?
That was so
What?
crazy. That was so, so crazy. And I'm also trying to check up my Buy Me Coffee link. Silver Fox has said that he has bought me coffee. So also shout out to him, as I love coffee. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. So are you done setting up your thing, Jay?
Well, what I'm doing is I'm just sharing to everyone. Like I said, this was an improv tool, and just allow more people
Okay.
to come in and watch and participate. So definitely
Okay.
appreciate the super chat. Also to ask and specialized questions, we do recommend that you send a super chat or some coffee so she can read it out loud. She's
Yay.
my honored guest, and she's taking her time. She could be sleeping. It's
Yeah.
repeat what time it is again over there. I always forget what it's like. Actually, I could
9:40. Right now it's 9:40 p.m.
9:39. Well, my world clock says 9:39 p.m. and
Yeah.
it's on the East Coast over here is 2:39. Yes, I'm just setting up some live, just on my Instagram, letting people know that, hey, I'm live right now as we put it together. So let me ask you a question in the meantime.
Yeah.
When I was there was no
Mm-hmm.
political issue, no protesting.
Yep.
So I left and everything was calm. I think we had some rain, some power outages, nothing serious, but I had a great, amazing time. Great,
Mm-hmm.
amazing time. So
Yeah.
tell me, what have I missed since last time I was there? Because I know a whole lot you guys made.
Oh
CNN.
my God. You
Uh,
have missed a lot. You have missed a
so-
lot. And saying about that, I also linked up with a certain YouTuber. He's Haitian, but he stays in the US. And
mm,
just as he arrived in Kenya, everything just started. Like the protest started. I think he was in his way going elsewhere and he couldn't because of the roadblocks and everything. So the protest definitely started because, Kenyans are not very comfortable with the taxes that are, going up in almost everything, considered they have been going up progressively in the past years. Like they even wanted to, put up tax on literally almost everything, even the very basic needs. That includes bread, that includes the sanitary towels that girls use. And it also came up that they wanted also to put taxes on the assets that someone has. That includes land, it includes cars. So someone was like, why should I pay taxes on my land and yet I have bought it? And people were like, no, we are not having this. And there was a consequence of you not actually paying tax for your land, or on top of the vehicle that you bought. Of course, you know the price of the vehicle, there is tax in it. If you want to have spare parts, the prices, there is tax inclusive. If you want your insurance, there is tax inclusive, literally on everything. So on top of that, you also had to pay tax yearly on your vehicle, which is something that people did not want to be implemented. So there are a lot of things that were going on, and people are like, no, we are not having this time. So they went on the road, and when it actually started, I was in Tanzania. I was like, oh man, we even forgot, like we had gone there to work, to vlog. We're always on our phone, on Instagram. What is happening? Hey, we wish like we were here. So yeah, that was basically it, and people are so mad. So the protests have been happening for quite a while now, and now the good thing with Kenya, and this Haitian YouTuber, he's called I Am Herbie, who was saying like it doesn't happen in the US. So you see here in Kenya, we are all on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, on all the social media platforms. So we agree as one people. We are going to the streets on Tuesdays and on Thursdays. So people go to work on Monday, normal. On Tuesday, no one is allowed to go to work. On Wednesday, yeah, on Wednesday we go to work. On Thursday we come together and go to the streets. So he was like, he was amazed by on how organized the protests were, being made. They're like, I mean, you guys, you're going to work tomorrow, and then the other day you say like you're going to the streets, and that happens. So he was like, nah, that doesn't happen in the US. I don't know if it happens, but you guys can definitely
It
tell us.
definitely don't happen in the US like that. We get things like January 6th, like once in a
Yeah.
blue. We get a certain thing like when they killed George Floyd. We got like
Mm-hmm.
a massive protest, but it's not as organized as
Yeah.
I would say Kenya, because you guys have days that you protest and other
Yes.
days that you don't, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
particular area. And
Yeah.
then even I was told after the protest at night, everyone still goes out and party.
Yes, yes. In fact, I think it was on the either the first time or the second day of protests. People were, and then the good thing is the protests were peaceful throughout the very first protests. They were so peaceful. So on the second time, I think on the second day, people were still late at night in town. So they had this music on the streets. People were literally having fun on the streets, like the way people have fun in the clubs. People were drinking, they were dancing, and then they also agree like on the, how is it called, they either carry like the Bluetooth speakers. So people are literally having fun on the streets at night after the protests. So it was quite, I think we made history. It was really really nice. But as the protests progressed, I think the politicians were like, these guys are not going to stop. So it is said that they paid other people to now start destroying property for other people, so that they can say that
Mm.
it is the people who are protesting, they're the ones who are destroying properties. People started getting killed and everything. So people retracted a little bit and stayed in their houses. But the first week it was awesome, awesome, awesome. It was peaceful. Nothing was being stolen, nothing was being like broken in or anything. So it was quite awesome, and history was literally made. But the moment they started killing people, hiring goons to destroy property, people took retreat and just stayed in their homes. But it was, and we are so happy that at the end of the day, as much as everything happened, and it is very sad that there are people who lost their lives along the way. There are people who, even the parliament of Kenya, like the Gen Z broke in. They
Oh
broke in,
yeah. Let
they
me see if I have that picture. Go ahead.
yeah, they broke in, they destroyed things, and they were people. So the people, you see, when people were breaking into the parliament, they were taking videos and pictures and saying the way they've broken into parliament. So some of those people were found dead, anonymously. Others were
Wow.
missing, and then after days or a week, they were found dead. So people got, they retracted because of the fear and everything. But it is very sad. We even had a university student who had fully completed his studies. He was just waiting to graduate in the next few months, and he was found dead. And he's one of the people who had broke inside the parliament. So even part of the
Ah,
Kenyan parliament was burnt.
wow. So
Yeah.
there's some we suspect, or I mean, I shouldn't say suspect, but I think people they kind of came to a consensus that there was some type of suspicious deaths that occurred after this, right? I'm assuming.
Yes, yes, yes. It was sad because these people were being killed, and anyway, it was really sad, but it happened the way it happened. People lost their lives, and at the end of the day, the finance bill was also rejected. People really put a lot of pressure on our president. But I've also been advised, even as we are talking about this protest and everything, even if you're putting it online, just
Mhm.
talk a little bit about it, and
Mhm.
you know on. That is what I've been told.
Okay, okay. So we got some advisement. So we're definitely gonna move on from that topic, but definitely want to shout out my boy Kings and Dreams for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you,
Woo!
my brother. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. Kings and Dreams also has his own YouTube channel where he talks about a whole variety of different things, includes some travel, includes some social topics, and he definitely have guests like yourself that come on. And so definitely appreciate that, brother. Um,
Thank you.
so I don't want to dwell on that so much, but at the result of it, it seems like the finance bill has been squashed, I should say,
Yeah, yeah. It
and
has. It has.
the president has made some changes. I think he fired some people, made the government smaller. I see he put
Yeah,
some people in position that's part of the Gen Z,
yeah.
So
What happened is, in fact, he fired the people from the ministers because they were not qualified in terms of maybe the experience or the education background. They were just put there. But okay, he fired all of them and then he put others there. But according to the track record of the people whom he hired to be in those positions, it was still the same. It was still the same. So people were so mad. And even it happened during the protest. There's a certain day the Uber drivers, those apps for maybe Uber or Bolt, they
mhm.
charge they charge very little money. So the driver ends up maybe going at home with very little money.
Wow.
They also decided to gather together and do like their own protests. And if you were an Uber driver and you were found driving that day of protests, they could
Mm.
take your car and maybe remove the tires, something. But they were like, we have agreed not to work, and you're working. So they were like on the how is it called, on the road, like police
Mhm.
officers checking car by car.
To see if there's an Uber.
Yeah, the Uber drivers. And if they found you, like you're an Uber driver and you're driving, they were pulling you aside and removing your anything, side mirror, tire, whatever.
Wow, because you're supposed to be protesting.
Yeah, yeah, because you're working, and we've
Mm.
decided to protest. Why are you working?
Right. So you're working against the common good, which in a
Yes,
way is working against yourself because if they're trying to accomplish something as a unit, as a country, as an industry, and everyone's going this way, and you want to be greedy to make because I'm assuming now the rates will go up because there's less cars. So
yeah.
that one or two people who sneak between is like, yo, I'm gonna get some money. Y'all go ahead. I need to get some cha-ching. Y'all go ahead and protest. and that's kind of like what happens in America. You see how you said people walked out of work and stopped working?
Mm-hmm.
America, I love it. I'm from Trinidad. I moved there. I lived here most of my life. I am an American citizen. That we have a care for individualism. So we're like, listen, my house is not on fire. Your house could burn down. It's okay. Except when
Yeah.
a house next door burns down, then we start getting a little bit concerned. So we're kind of very individualized to our success. So I don't think a lot of people protest as they should, or even I should say plugged into the political landscape that we have. And to me, like I hear Kenyans and they know what's going on in politics. You guys pay attention a lot. And
Yes, yes.
one question I
Now
wanted to ask.
the thing is, like they were passing the finance bill because they
Mhm.
thought people don't know what is happening. So they're like, nah, they won't read, let's just pass it, those kind of things. But they were very shocked to see that people were paying attention to every detail that was happening. And it is sad because as much as us Kenyans we were in a position to do that, in other African countries you cannot do that. There was one particular person in Uganda. He's just neighboring the country's
Neighboring
neighboring.
country. Hmm.
And I heard that he went online and spoke badly about the president. And Kenyans do that all the time, 24/7, every day, sending threats to the president. People even do videos and literally address the president. So this particular person in Uganda did that, and the Ugandan president had him arrested. Like he
Mm.
was jailed for that. So yeah, so it's crazy.
So just to wrap up on the whole protest thing, we're gonna move on. But I
Mhm.
think Kenya, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm in the States, I'm watching this from afar. I think
Yes,
Kenya's protest and actually success in getting
yes.
that bill squashed was that I seen Uganda and even Nigeria now, they're also doing some similar demonstrations against things that don't work for them.
Yes, that is very true. And I hear that the same finance bill is also being passed in other have been passed have successfully been passed in other African countries. So yes, Ugandans are emulating us and Nigerians are also emulating us. But I hear that it is not just a bill that is only in Kenya, and also like it's also in other African countries.
Well,
Yeah.
some of the just to wrap it up, I keep saying that, but some of
Hmm.
the taxes that you guys were fighting against, it's very common in the states. So a lot of times when people like myself are looking for places to expat, we're looking for tax-friendly places like
Yeah.
Kenya. Once you buy
Hmm.
something, you don't continue paying taxes on it all the time. You don't continue
Exactly.
paying tax on your car every year. These are
Hmm.
things that become standard in America, and I don't know if it works or not because I feel like we're taxed a lot. We're taxed on similar to Kenya, maybe you're taxed on goods that you buy, you're taxed on your salary, you're taxed. You're like by the time you look at it, you pay a lot in tax. You're taxed like 4 times.
Hmm.
So in America,
Yeah.
it's kind of commonplace, and in some places you will buy a house, and you're like the taxes are so high that it could be more than your mortgage.
Yeah. That's,
So
that's
I definitely
crazy.
understand that, and I think the world, especially the people that are not part of the high end class or the top percentage or whatever, they should take notice to this and see how they can implement this in their countries, because I think in America it's like we don't have enough people that want to fight against unfair laws and taxes and stuff like that. So I commend Kenyans on that, and I was rooting for you guys. And minus the violence, I'm happy that you guys have done this. So we have one more super chat from
From
Charlie
Charlie
B.
B. Thank you.
Yes, great content. Thank you for that, Charlie B. We appreciate that. Appreciate that.
And just to add on that,
Hmm.
like throughout my entire life, I've never seen Kenyans so united. There was nothing like tribalism. Like Kenyans were so united on one thing and one thing only, to pull down that finance bill. People even went ahead and put up websites, to do the signatures for to put down the finance bill. There was even someone who created a website where they had to have the president on board and address the Gen Z, and it actually happened. Even like nurses came together, doctors came together, hotels came together. You see, like when they were doing what? How is it called? They were throwing the tear gas. So the hotels that are in operation in town, they were giving free water to people to
Wow.
assist them. doctors were coming together, nurses. They were like, we will be able to attend to people who are being injured during the protests. The law firms also came together. They were like, I think you can, not I think, like they put up a stop against the finance bill, so they put it to court for it not to pass. So there were so those things that were happening, within Kenya. So different institutions from different places were coming together as one to help people. They're like, this is not happening. The president of the school of law was like, no, this is not going to happen. So yeah, a lot happened, and Kenyans were so united. I think up to now, I think we made history. It was awesome. It was
Very
so
good,
awesome.
very good. And I'm hoping
Yeah,
that next election everyone will be just as involved, and
yeah.
everyone will be just as pay attention to what's going on. So let's segue off of that. And so besides the protests,
Hmm.
what's new with you since last time we spoke and last time we saw each other?
Sorry.
What's new? Because I know you traveled. So talk
Yeah.
about what's new. You talk about what's new in Kenya. What's new
Hmm.
with you since I spoke to you? Some stuff about your travel. Talk to me.
Yeah. Okay, so since we met, I think it's 2 months now. Wow, time flies. And everyone who is watching here, A Squad, I see all of you in the comment section. Titus, welcome. Atrin, welcome. Thank you so much for the super chats that you guys are sending me. If you also can, donate on Buy Me Coffee, well and good. Thank you, Silver Fox, for the coffee. So I met vlog tripping here in Kenya just a day before he left Kenya, and I met him at the Jamaican restaurant. All of you guys know that place. So he was kind enough to do with me a video. As much as it was in a hurry, it was impromptu. So we did. The camera even went off in the middle of our talking. That interview would have been 2 hours, but the camera went off. Would have
Wow.
gone yeah, on and on and on. So yeah, I traveled to Ghana. I stayed there for a week. I went to Tanzania, stayed there for a week, and I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say in those different places, and we might probably start. We might
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
start
That
with Ghana.
that sounds like another live because I also went to Ghana too, and I think we spoke briefly, and I think we came a lot to the same conclusion.
Conclusion, yes, yes, yes.
So I think we should save that for another live. Let's focus on Kenya for today. Kenya gets
Okay, okay.
all the focus. So you've been to Ghana, you've been to Tanzania. Where else? Or that's it for the world tour for now.
Yeah, that's it for now.
Do you have anything planned coming up
Uh,
for the rest of the year? Like any travel plans
for the
or?
rest of the year, I'm trying to see if my internet is doing something.
Uh-oh.
So yeah.
Definitely shout out to the flight crew. Flight crew, if you want to join my flight crew, go to vlogtripping.com. She's just going to bring you to the YouTube. So shout out to my flight crew. And actually, where is my memberships? Let me see. So if you guys want to join the flight crew, you get to see some of, let me see if I can share this real quick while Anna's getting it together. If you join my flight crew, you get to show some
Yeah.
videos that I can't really show on YouTube, which is the walking streets in Vietnam and Thailand. And yeah, you could do that. I do have to see. I have to remember what I showed the different memberships. But yeah, I do have a membership only that I'm slowly building. I'm gonna put more content on there. So definitely feel free to join and be a part of the conversation with Vlog Tripping and help me build a better channel, help me steer this channel in the right direction. So I see Anne has left us for a while. I guess she'll be back soon. And also just moved too. So that's probably I think it's the first time she's putting her internet to the test. And when I was in Kenya, as far as internet goes, from a American expat traveler perspective, the internet is very good. Safaricom is very good, except it's good, but there is sometimes the internet slows down. It wasn't really good for uploading. I tried to upload some videos and I had to go to a internet cafe because I think upload speeds on regular residential areas are not as good, but I had to go to a workspace to upload videos to YouTube. So, Anna, I was just talking about you moving and getting good internet. How is your upload speeds?
Okay, just a minute. I put on my charger too. My laptop charger.
Yes, please be plugged in. The internet. You know what? I've had worse. I've had worse. So let me just say I had worse, but it's good. Not great, but it's good. As far as the internet goes. Let me see. Do I have my list when I was talking about the internet about Kenya? Let me see if I have it real quick. Let me see. So Ann, you're back?
Yes, I'm back.
All right. So let's talk about some cultural stuff. I think we touched on it last time.
Yeah.
I know a lot of my subscriber. I know a lot of my subscribers love to hear about this topic. And you may know nothing about the topic, and if you don't, we're just gonna roll by it. Have you ever heard of this term, passport bros? Have you ever heard of that term?
Passport what?
Passport bros, like passport brothers. Have you ever
No.
heard of that term? All right,
Mm-mm,
cool.
first time.
So we're not even gonna go into it since you never heard of it, and that's great.
No, you
So,
can enlighten me. It's
well,
my learning season.
the thing is, certain things in the West, I don't want to introduce to the East because it's not something of a it's a mixed reaction conversation, and I'm not really a part of it, so I don't want to defend it or be pro against it. So I just want
Yeah.
to know if you know the terminology because people believe, some Americans believe that America is the center of the world, and in some cases it is, but not in everything. So we believe our discussions is happening all over the world, and it's not.
Yeah.
You guys have your own problems, your own culture, your own environment to worry about. And which makes me come to mind. Let's talk about
Someone in the comment section is saying you're getting messy.
let's talk, let's talk about something I observed, right? So last time we spoke a little bit about dating, right?
Yeah.
But this is something I've never seen in America. So you do occasionally go to the clubs, correct? I know you may not be a club type girl.
Yeah. And occasionally, but I mean, it can even be a whole year before I go to the club.
So
Yep.
what I noticed in the club is that you would see a group of guys in the club in the VIP section popping
Yeah.
bottles, but no women. And
Yep.
I don't understand why in America I would say some or most we will get a section, even though I'm not one of those people, but I would observe people will get a section, and the idea is you get bottles, they bring the sparklers, and the women are watching, and you want to invite the women to your
Oh,
section to be
yeah.
able to socialize with them and get to know them better and whatnot. But it seems like in Kenya, when I went to like some of these clubs like Gemini and what's the other? I don't even want to shout them out, but those are the clubs I was going to, and it's a group of like 15 men over here, and the women are all
Yep.
on the outside. And I'm like, can you explain that to me? Because being from America, I don't get it, the dynamics of it.
Even before I just start explaining. So, short story. Last year on Valentine's Day, I went out, I was single. I went out with a certain lady, a girlfriend of mine. Like, you know what? Let's go out. Let's dress up. Let's go out and eat. So there were these guys within the same restaurant who were sitting by themselves and eating. So there's this notion. Everyone who is watching here is squad and from vlog trip is end. What happens in Kenya? Guys are like, I'm not going, like, even if they spend $1, and allow me to use dollars, 100, $1, $2, they feel so entitled to have something in return from you when they spend even as little as $1. So, and ladies are like, no, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna do anything. So they prefer to go out by themselves, take themselves out on a date. On Valentine's Day, they have a day, they have put that, they have set that day aside, and they call it a men's conference. So these men go out for a conference just so that they don't take the ladies out during Valentine's Day. That is the sole purpose for that conference. When they go out to drink, when they go out to drink, they'd rather buy the drinks by themselves than share it with the ladies, because in their mind they're like, if I share this with you, then I need something in return from you. And ladies are like, no, I'm not going to give you anything in return. So they're like, okay, you're not giving me anything in return, then let me go out by myself. That's how they are. Most of them, not all of them, most of them.
First of all, shout out to the men in Kenya.
Okay.
Shout out, because
Yeah, that's what they
I'm,
do.
I'm very conflicted on this, but at the same time, I gotta respect the gangster in it, because it's like, look, I'm spending my money, and if I'm not getting something, I don't know what the something is, but if I'm not getting what I feel in return, then I'm just not gonna do it. And
No, let me ask you, why are you giving them a shout out? Do you think a
me,
lady do you think
uh-huh,
a lady is entitled to sleep with you just because you buy them drinks?
no, not at all. But I'll tell you,
Now that is them. That is them. Even if they buy you one or two drinks, they're
oh, they
expecting you to
expect you
sleep with
to.
them,
Oh,
which
no,
is
no,
not
no, no,
right.
no, no. I can't condone that. But the
Yeah,
reason
that is
why,
what they do. I mean, you'd rather not buy your even if it's your sister or a friend who is a girl, they'd rather not buy you even if it's a gift that is like $10 or $20 and some flowers and some chocolate just to make you feel good. If they
mm,
do that very little tiny thing for you, they expect you to do something in return for them. I'm talking about the very, very small things that you can just do you can just do for anyone.
mhm.
Yeah,
So let me
so
so let me respond to you. In America, we have this issue with, and it could be both sides to blame, where women are kind of going on dates and using men on the dates, like they're not
mhm,
interested. They go on the
mhm,
dates just to get free food, and
mhm,
they're not really, or they're bored, or you're
mhm.
the only person that took them out. But they will go see the person that they really want, and that person won't take them out. So I can't say from a personal perspective, because I vet women a lot better, but a lot of men in America have issues finding and dealing with women that actually like them. So
Mhm.
the reason why I was applauding was because sometimes here they don't know the difference if they're being used or not, and they would just spend money in hopes of getting something. Now, when I say getting something, not sexual stuff, I'm talking about. I'm talking about
What something else
basic.
is not sexual returns?
I mean, they
What
they
some
do, but I'm talking about basic reciprocation. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Mhm,
I'm talking about genuine interest. A lot of times,
mhm.
what men are complaining about here in America is that the women are not generally interested in with them, and they're just going on these dates, and they want lavish dates. Like, I don't think Kenyans want expensive dates as from what I experienced, but they want to go to the most expensive clubs. I'm talking like STK, which is like $500, just for food, and they want to post pictures with with themselves at those clubs without the date.
Mhm.
Or they want to order bottles, and they want to order like 5 drinks, and at some point the men are like, wait, what's going on here? That she doesn't really like me, but she's spending a lot of my money.
Yeah.
And in America, I would say the income disparity is not as much. I would say if we're in the same field, women and men earn about the same amount. And there's even
Mhm.
I would say a stereotype that women are actually earning more. I don't know if it's true or not, but women are
Yep.
actually earning more than men in America. So it's like, if you're earning more than me, why am I spending all this money on you if we're supposed to be mutually interested?
Okay.
So that's why I was kind of giving them an applause, because to me it's standing up against the status quo and saying, look, this is my boundary. Like, if we go on a date, you know, this, that, the other. But I think in America, men are so afraid They're such cowards, or they so crave women's validation and women's attention that they would never do something like that. You know. So I think some men are slowly kind of changing the way that they think, and they're more about vetting women a lot. So I think that's really, really good. That they're starting to vet women better. So I think that's the change of what men are talking about. And which kind of ties into Kenya, they believe that dating women in Kenya is way better than dating women in the States. So you see how you
Okay, that's
go ahead.
no, I didn't know. I didn't know men in the USA really crave for. I didn't know that. That's new.
So it's a big social, like, it's. I mean, we have a gender war that's, I would say, mainly online. It's not the majority, but it's a loud thing on social media.
Okay.
About men and women, and men going on dates, women going on dates, and expectations, and who wants to be the provider, who's looking for someone submissive. So those kind of conversations, which I think is absent primarily in Kenya's social media. If you could correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Okay, that's crazy because I didn't know, like, that happens. But, talking about on that discussion, talking about men in the USA who are coming to Kenya, and I've bumped into a lot of Caribbean men who are looking into having wives from Africa.
I gotta big up for the team.
So
I
concerning
gotta
that,
big up. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yes, I've come across someone is saying American women without any responsibility. Okay. So, okay, what is it that, American women want 50-50 in a relationship? I'm just curious.
Well, I think, shout out to my man Phil. Listen, check out his podcast channel as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more of decision making. They want 50-50 on decision making. They want 50-50 on being a so-called partnership. Like, they want to be a partner with their husband. And the 50-50 stops until the check comes.
Yeah.
Except when it comes to spend money, they're like, "Oh no, I don't want no parts of the check. You be the man." Now they want a selective time for you to be a man, and
Yep.
everything else they want a 50-50 say, control of. And I think that's the issue that we're kind of having, is like, well, you can't have it both ways. You can't be a independent housewife. Well, that's how I look at it. I'm a little mixed. I could do it both ways. If you want to be independent, fine. 50-50 straight down the middle, right? Cool. If you want to be a housewife, I'm cool with that too, but you can't have a mix of both. I can't do both. I can't do a hybrid. I got to pick one or the other. So
I don't understand though. 50, I mean, if it's decision making in the house, it's not just one person who can make decisions, right? Normally, it's not just a man who can make decisions concerning things. I don't know. But concerning, the 50-50 thing, or, the Caribbean men who are, coming to Africa to look for wives, we had this discussion with you before our camera went off, and
yeah,
you were
yeah.
like, so these men are coming to Africa to look for traditional women, right? But are these men themselves tradition? Like, are they men who are coming here to look for, traditional women? That is just my question.
Well, obviously, I can't ask it for every single man, but I believe the
Mm-hmm.
majority, we have an idea or a dream in our head that we can go outside of America, because our women tend to be non-traditional. So we think our chances of meeting traditional women increase outside of America. So to me, a man is always traditional because we always have to pay. It's rarely a situation where we don't pay more than the woman does. So I think for us, that we got to pay anyway. So where can we best spend our money and get the most back? This is kind of like what the Kenyan men are saying there. So I can see why someone would travel to Kenya, and I've had a great dating experience in Kenya. Probably one of the best on the planet for me personally. So I could see how that could be a very attractive, and it can almost be intoxicating. It can also be addictive. So I could see why we can go travel, date in Kenya. You know, we're kind of paying for everything anyway, but we're spending less money, but we get more femininity from Kenyan women, in my opinion. We get more submission. We get more cooperativeness. You know, so when you say make the decision, I think most men find women in America not cooperative. They're very combative. Like you'll be like,
what do you mean by that?
So we'll be like, okay, let's say we're driving somewhere. We'll be like, look, we're gonna go this way. The woman's gonna tell you, no, I know better. We're gonna go that way, and they might call you a name in the process. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but that's kind of like when it comes to decision making, they want equal say, but they don't want to equally pay. I should write that down. They want equal say and don't want to equal pay.
Okay, this is my So by a traditional woman, what do you mean by a woman being, tradition?
It means different to a lot of people. So I would think they want a housewife. I think more traditional woman equals housewife, someone that can take care of the house, someone that could cook, someone that could clean. You know, you don't want to hire. I mean, you can if you have enough. And I'm sure in Kenya is very affordable. Well, from an expat, from a foreigner standpoint, it's very affordable to have a housekeeper. You know, I've had housekeepers every time I've been there. So I think we don't really have, most people don't have that same ability here in the States. So they expect their women to do that. And a lot of women in America just don't do it, or they don't know how. They never were taught. So they rather work with a woman who's been raised to be a housewife. So usually housewife and traditional is kind of like what they're looking for. Ann, you still there? Don't tell me you froze on me.
No, I'm still here. I don't know why it keeps on doing that, but it's okay.
It's okay. We're working with Safaricom. I had my own issues with Safaricom. I was trying to go live the last time. Shout out to Phyllis. Phyllis, drop a super chat, man. Let's respond to this. Throw a little $1.99. Spiral Black, you got to tell me more about the Ugandan women, because when I come back to Kenya, I'm definitely taking a flight over to Uganda. I heard Uganda nightlife rivals Kenya. I heard it's better than Kenya.
Yep.
I heard the value of money is even better in Uganda also. You know, and I've been fortunate to meet some Ugandan women, and you know, they're, as far as beauty goes, they're very competitive with Kenyan women as well. So I could definitely see the need for that. But talk about that more, Spiral Black. Tell me what you mean.
Yeah, Spiral Black needs to tell us what he means by don't forget about Ugandan women. What do you mean?
You know what, Shepherd Word, you bring up a good point. Where is it? You know, just to add on to what Phyllis was saying, family oriented. So that is true. There is a lack, I would say, from my perspective, a lack of family. Everything is about self. Remember I told you before about Americans being individualized? Everything is about me, and what I could do. And I think the women here, they don't really put focus on the family. They just focus on themselves. And in men, what I mean traditional, we don't really change because we want the family. If I win $1 million right now, right, I'm going to say I want to find the most beautiful looking girl to start a family with. In America, what we think, when American women win the lottery, they say, I don't want a man. I don't need a man. I don't need a family. Me. I'm achieving all these goals and I'm better than a man because I make more money than men do. So that's kind of like it. We got another super chat. Shout out to Daryl. Shout out to LSB. What that mean, Ann? That sounds like someone from your side.
Yeah, I can see.
What is it? Can we know what the acronym stands? Is that an inside joke? What does the LSB stand for?
I can see he's not from my end.
Shout out. I
Thank
don't
you,
know.
Daryl, for the
Thanks,
super
Dal.
chat.
I don't know what. Thank you for the $10 super chat, bro. Thank you. But I don't know what LSB. You gotta tell me what that stands for, homie. Oh man. So okay. So you said you meet a lot of Caribbean men. What about men from America or Europe? We're kind of talking about black men, and then I will talk about the other countries. But talking about black men from anywhere in the world that come to Nairobi and dating. Tell us what you know about that.
Okay, so I have come across black men from the USA, others from Europe, but I don't know if it is fortunate or unfortunate. All of them are from the Caribbean.
So you
They're
get
either from
see
Jamaica
me
or
and the Caribbean
Guyana or
Americans.
Trinidad or Haiti, you know. So those are the kind of people I've been, met up with. But I've also come across Jamaicans who are here in Kenya, but they prefer, women with the other skin color. So I'm like, bro, what are you doing here? You need to go back where you came from and find
What
them
kind of
there
skin
because they're
color?
what?
Oh, all right, lifestyle boys. Shout out Daryl. What's up, bro? Thank you. I know he's part of our WhatsApp group. Well, WhatsApp group that I'm in with travelers. Shout out. All right, gotcha. Now, when you say skin color, what do you mean in particular? Like lighter skin?
No, I've met Jamaican men who love white women, but
Wow.
they are here. Yeah, I have. And someone else also is saying Angel Blade is one of my fans from YouTube. He's from Europe. He's saying that Kenyan women love white men, which is true. Most of the Kenyan ladies think that when they have a white man, then they are far much better in terms of everything. So most of them are after white men because they think they have a lot of money, they can take very good care of them. So most Kenyan women love white men because they have that perception of being well taken care of, which is very true.
Hmm.
That happens a lot.
So you think that's their? So let me ask you a question. Would they prefer a Kenyan man, or they'll prefer?
White man, even if he's old and his back is bending like this, as long as
Listen,
he's white, a Kenyan woman will go for that instead of a black man.
listen,
Absolutely.
listen, listen. I'm glad you said that because I'm trying to find this video.
Yep.
Because I observed so much of that in Diani that I was gonna make a whole separate video out of it.
Yes, 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 yes. There was a time I was in Diani and I was at the beach. I was just, having fun. And this old white man, he was like, his back was bending like this. He was like there's a way they call you, the way like they call a dog, like so this guy was expecting me to go for him just because he's white and he has called me like that rudely. I was like,
Oh,
bro, because he's used to calling ladies like that and they go running to him.
mm.
How do you call me? Please,
It's
I beg.
yeah. It's like he's calling you over.
Yeah. So he was trying to call me over, and he thought that it would work because it normally works for him just because he is white.
So shout out again to my man Fearless with a super chat of $5. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. So Fearless says, which I agree with. Men make money to support the family, and women make money to become independent of a family. I agree with that. I agree with that
I
completely.
agree with you too.
I agree with that. What do you think?
I agree with you too.
So I'm trying to find this. I'll keep looking. But yeah, in Diani, I seen some when I never seen Diani to me, and then you guys can check out my Diani video. It's like a old people's home. It's like a retirement home. And I've never
Yep.
seen so many old Europeans and their skin look like leather. And I'm seeing these very, very young women, like even like around your age or younger, with these old men that could barely walk.
Yep.
And what disturbed me, which I think might have disturbed women in the reciprocal, I seen young boys with these old women, and I'm like,
Mhm.
this. I had to rub my eyes. I was like, nah, I must be dreaming. This cannot be happening. You know what I
Yeah, it
mean?
happens. It happens both ways. And then what happens is with men nowadays, and not all of them,
Right.
but it's sad that men nowadays, I'm talking about Kenya, they want to be kept by ladies. They are looking for ladies who are well off so that they can take care of them. They don't want to work, right? So just the same way, women are looking for white men, even if they are old, as long as they know that these men are going to take good care of them, they're going to have money, well and good. So it is the same case with men, especially the younger generation. They're like, I'd rather have an old white woman and they're taking care of me instead of me working. It is the same thing on both genders. It is the same thing. And that's why when you ask me, will a Kenyan woman prefer a white or a black guy? They will go for the white person, even if he's old.
Are,
As
are,
long as
are,
they know they're
Ann, are
gonna
you
have
seeing this
money.
video?
Yeah, I'm saying it. I'm saying it. Even this white guy, he's young. At least he can stand straight. But this one, this one, this
That's
guy is
crazy.
young. He can stand straight. There's
Let me
this
tell.
time I was in a restaurant. I was just having coffee and I was having a meeting with some other person. And this guy was old. He was like his back was literally almost 60 degrees, and he was on a date with a very young girl. And this guy was such a gentleman because he was like pulling the seat for her and then letting her sit, and then it's like, oh my. Even this ones whom you are showing me, these ones are young. These ones are young. You see, this one can sit straight up. Hey, you will
That's a
not see
young
those ones
man.
who are. Ah, this one is no. According to what this one is young.
Uh,
There are
uh,
those who are old.
Yo, I was. I
It
couldn't.
happens. I'm telling you.
Man, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, really?
Yep.
Really, Deani? This is what we see. And I'm being real creepy because these people don't know I'm recording them, but I'm like, she's someone in my dating range, you know what I mean? And just look at the wrinkles.
This one, I'm telling you, this one is young. You've not seen the old ones. Old. Hey, you've not
Let
seen
me
them.
let me find one more. So let me ask you a question. What do people think when they see, like, what do local Kenyans think? Do they care, or it's like, girl, go get your money, like, or guy, get your money? Like, what do they say?
Sorry, come up again.
Okay, what is a response from the locals when they see things like that?
I think it depends on the location. If you're in the ghetto, of course you can't be the white person and you're in the ghetto. But I think it depends on the location because there are certain places like high-end places, let's say in Nairobi, where such a thing is a normal thing. Like they've gotten used to it until it's not such a big deal. Of course, there are people, but generally, it is not something that is accepted across the board in Africa. It is not something that is accepted across the board to have someone who is really old. It is generally it's not accepted, but people girls are like, you know what, you talk what you want to talk, as long as I'm getting what I'm getting, you talk. So there are areas where people have gotten so much used to it until it's not a big deal, but generally across the board it is not something that is generally accepted in Africa.
Right. Yeah, shout out to Separate Warrior. You know what? I agree with you. It does happen, to the countries I've traveled. I think I traveled to like maybe 12 countries between last year and this year. I've never seen it this bad that I saw in Diani. I've never seen the age gap so
Oh,
great.
so Diani top the list.
I have never seen the age gap so. It's huge. And don't get me wrong. It happens in America. It happens. Our celebrities do it, but the
Okay.
gap. maybe I haven't seen it up close and personal. This is the first time I've seen it up close and personal.
And
So I guess that's
personally,
why
yeah.
it's a shock to my system. But yes, in every country it happens. But they also have a family too. So sometimes I'll see like a young kid, and the kid will be biracial. So they're a family for whatever it's worth. Wow.
Yeah.
So
It
that
happens. I'm telling you, it happens.
I
And then
couldn't
if you're not
believe it.
this person who is exposed to those things, you're like, oh my God, is this happening? Like for me, oh my God, I was so naive. I was so naive years back. So if I would see such a thing, it will really, really shock me. But as I've said, you get used to it and you're like, nah, it's not a big deal anymore. But it's generally something that it's not accepted.
So what I would say is when I go to the clubs, and definitely I'm not gonna lie to you, I was there for the social life. I was there to date. I do love Kenyan women a lot. I may even consider vetting a Kenyan woman to be a wife in the near future.
Okay.
But when I go to the clubs, I observe what's going on around me, and I would see the focus. If there's Europeans there, the focus on them, like all the women are watching them,
Yes.
And then I'll see something.
In the USA or here? In the USA or here in
No, talking about Kenya. Talking about Kenya.
Yep.
The focus is all on them, and then I often see it'll be one white guy and like 3 girls.
Yes.
And he's there buying drinks for everybody. And then the whole time she's like, talking to the bartender, and it's just like he's just paying for everything.
Yeah.
And he's there dancing.
I'm telling you, it's not bad. I'm telling you, if you approach a Kenyan lady today and you're black and a white person approaches her, you have no chance. I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah.
You have zero chance. Take it from me. And even if you're young and the white person is old, you still have no chance.
That's kind of like my observation. So listen, I know everyone wants to know, and they want to know: are you single? Or are you dating? What's going on with you? What are you looking for? Would you want to be? Would you want to be with a foreigner? As much as you feel comfortable.
Let's see. You see, as I'm doing this YouTube thing, I have grown to learn that there are things that I don't want people to know.
Okay.
Which is yes.
Okay.
I don't, even if you're white, yellow, black, as long as we are able to be in a happy relationship, I don't mind. Even if you're red, I don't know
what about age?
Age? I definitely prefer someone who is older than me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I feel like my thinking is I feel like I matured way earlier because I'm a firstborn. There are so many things that I had to figure out to do by myself. And having a guy who is my age, I don't think will rhyme in terms of thinking. So I would definitely prefer someone who is older than me, but not the bending ones. No.
So let me ask you more broadly speaking. We don't want to get too personal.
Yep.
How would you say? Because someone told me that there are about 9 women to every 1 Kenyan man. So if try to look at it from a male perspective, how you think dating is for local Kenyans in comparison to dating for local women?
Please repeat your question. 9 women to what?
Okay. When I was there, some of the locals told me that there's 9 women available for every 1 man.
Okay.
Meaning that there's women everywhere. There's a lot of options for local Kenyans to date that they don't really settle down as quick as they used to. And he was telling me, man, you can pick and choose who you want. He said there's so many women, like you could throw a rock and hit a beautiful Kenyan woman. So I'm saying in reverse, you being a woman, how is it hard for maybe not personal to you, but to any Kenyan local from your point of view, how is it for them to date? Like, how is their options and availability?
Let's see. I'll talk about my experience and my friends.
Okay.
Looking at my age and my friends whom I'm very close with, people whom I've known more than 10 years plus. There's only one friend of mine who is married, and she's married to a very good person. But my other friends, they are single. And I've come to learn that um, women want to connect more, or to have someone whom they can connect in terms of, I don't know if these ladies who go for old people, if they want something genuine in terms maybe of a family, or this person being a friend or a husband. But as a young person, I think it is not easy to get someone whom you can be in a relationship with right now in Kenya. One thing is that they have told you, men nowadays, they want to be kept. If they see that you're a lady and you're doing well, they will come to you, and with the intentions of you taking care of them. I've even had a conversation with a certain Uber guy who was just dropping me at my home, and then we started talking. And he was like, I don't know how we started talking about that. He was telling me, like, the sister now, she's well off, she has assets, she has land, she has vehicles, but the guy stays in the house, and he chews cat. I don't know if you know cat. Cat is called mira. Is a certain uh is a certain thing that people chew and chew and chew, like, I can say it's just like drinking. So
Okay.
he just in the house, he has fun, he calls his friends, and then later at the end of the day, he wants all of these assets to be transferred into his name, something that he never worked for. So most ladies crave for having a deeper connection, having a family, but the men, they don't want to they don't want that. Or the men that are there, they want to be kept, they want to be taken care of. One instance, there's this time I was buying food, and someone was dropping it at my house, and he had a motorbike. So this motorbike person happened to bump into someone he knows. So this guy was like, the motorbike person was like, let's call him person A. Person A was asking person B, "Oh, is that woman still keeping you?" And then they laughed about it. So in my head, I was like, "Oh my god, it's a thing." In fact, they feel very happy when a woman is taking care of them. So it's a thing. They're like, and then this person B was like, "Oh, I see you got a job at least." And then this person was like, "Oh, is that woman keeping you?" I was like, "Oh my God, it's a thing." So ladies want men who are leaders, men who are providers, men who can protect them. But the men here are not are not they don't have the money. And maybe that could also be another reason why they go for the whites, because here in Africa, not just ladies only, we assume that white people have more money. If they see a white person, boom, money. So they prefer to go to someone who is very old and has money than to stay with someone who doesn't have work, or someone who wants to be taken care of. So it is becoming slightly hard, but I still believe you can still find someone. As a person, my friend found someone, I know I can find someone. I put myself into that small percentage of people, and I'm like, if that found someone, I can find someone too. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Shout out to that. If that person got lucky, you can get lucky too.
Yeah. That's my. I go with that motto. This one and this one found. I'm going to find someone too.
Mm-mm-mm.
That's how I just view it. Yeah.
Listen, y'all, let me tell you something. Anne looks way better in person. This video is not giving her justice at all. And definitely you can check out her videos, and you'll see more videos of her, especially those village videos, which are doing quite well. Talk to me a little bit about you visiting the village and doing some of the stuff cooking. I think I saw the one with you cooking the peanuts. and
Yeah.
taking a bath in the is it a river?
Yep.
Yeah, tell me more about those because I know some of my friends may not be exposed to this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go on your channel while you do that. Go ahead.
Okay. A short background. Someone is saying money does not make a man a leader. That is very true. Just the same way, men who come to Africa thinking that they can find traditional women, not all women who are in Africa are traditional women. So it's just about finding the right person. I totally agree with you. So, a short story. Yes, I've been brought up in the city in Nairobi CBD. I've stayed here a very long time. So has my parents and my siblings, everything. But my bringing up has truly been that of the village. And I'm not like a place that is very far away from the city. I'm really close by the CBD. So my growing up has been that of the village. Here in Nairobi, I have cooked with 3 stones. I have looked for firewood here in Nairobi. I have cooked with those 3 stones, and definitely I cannot compare it to like the village, but I truly appreciate that because there was someone who was telling me that there are people who are in the USA and they've never seen anyone cook with 3 stones. And I feel like this village life has definitely made me be a diverse person. I've been able to know what's in the village, what's in the city. I get to appreciate both, do what I can, do what I cannot. But both exposures have definitely shaped me to become the person I am. You know, I'm able to go to the village and cook there. I'm also able to blend to the city and be a city girl. And also, in my experience, I've been in real estate for 3 years. And because of being in that field, I've been privileged to meet people who actually have, a little bit of money, or people who have made it in life. So I have been exposed. So right now, someone can't come to me and have a car and I'm being impressed. No, it's not bad to have a car, it's not bad to have a house, but you cannot come to me and try to impress me with that. And that being said, just on the story of dating, so there's this guy whom was giving me a service, has always given me a service. I won't say what it is, but it is within my house, maintenance things. So when I met, I think I was the first customer of this person, the first client. So he was able to give me this service well and good. Things were okay. And then maybe if I have an issue, he might send someone or he might come. So very recently, I Esquad. I know you're here. I think this is the time for me to say it. I can see all of you in the comment section. It's just because we are talking and talking and talking. I'm not able to like read your comments the way I'm normally used to. There's someone who asked me if I moved. I was not ready to say I moved, but I did move. So I've told this person I have moved. Please come and put this and this and this. What was on the other house? So the first time, not the first time, like earlier on, this person was insisting, no, you come this route. And me, I was telling him, no, me, I don't want to come there. You let's meet the other side. Let's meet on point C. He's telling me, no, you come on point A. I'm telling him, no, me, I want to go to point C. And I insisted. So I went to point C and he met me at point C. So he went to the old house, removed everything, and then was bringing it to this house. So when we moved to the old house, and he was like, "Okay, now let's go." As I was telling him, "No, let us use this route." And then I was like, "No." Apparently, which is good, this person had bought a car. So and even I was, as we were going to my house, I was telling him, "Hey, you look nice nowadays. You look like things are going well." And then I told him, "I'm very very happy for you." Just a compliment. I was like, "Wow, you look different. You look good. I'm very happy for you." So apparently, this guy had a car. So now, as he was now driving now to where I am right now, he was like, I didn't know you were single. If I knew you were single, I would have done this and this and this. And then he started giving me a story of the way she knew this lady, and this lady did not do what he said, and now he missed out. So his whole point was, if I had managed to be his wife, then I would have been privileged enough to have a husband who has a car, right?
Wow.
So at the end, it's like, bro, no, a car does not impress me. So he was like trying to bring out the point that I would have been privileged enough, and the other lady had missed out because now things are going well in his life, and this lady is like, no, you can't impress me with that. I'm like, so it happened. So uh, no, bro.
It's funny because it could be the same thing in America, but it's just different levels of it. So it wouldn't be a car, but it might be a house. It might be a really fancy car. It might be a business. It might be gold chains, but we can substitute that for many different, merchandise and things like that, So that's definitely true. Shout out to
But you were asking about dating.
Shout out to Spiral Black for another super chat, $5.
Yep.
Thank you. Sorry, Ann, go ahead.
Yep. So concerning dating, it is definitely not easy. Nowadays, people want to hit and run, and by hit and run, I don't mean men only. Yeah, even
Really?
ladies.
The women that hitting and run, you know what? I didn't experience that personally, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Yes,
I would definitely say, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And it is highly backed by, I can say this, women nowadays, especially in Kenya, I can say they are more stable compared to men. And I feel it's because of the things that they've been going through in terms of maybe their relationships. And the truth is, women suffer more in relationships than men here in Kenya. So it reaches a point, and this woman is like fed up. So they are really, really focused on looking on their own, on getting their own money, investing, building. So, and just as Chef Adori, I think he had mentioned, women look for money to be independent of a
Mhm.
family. So they're like, nah, I have money. Just gonna hit and run. I mean, I don't care. You just. So women nowadays in Kenya, they are way ahead. In the company that I work for in real estate, 80% of the people who are buying the land and the houses are women, and the men in their lives don't know about it. So they're
Wow.
like, yeah. So people are just hitting and running. I'm like, yep. So that is what happens nowadays.
So when you mentioned hitting and running, I would say I observe, well, me personally, maybe because they think I have money or because they think I'm American or Trinidadian, whatever. I've seen, which doesn't happen to me much here in the States, Kenyan women approach me a lot. They will come right up next to me, and now
Okay,
when you said,
just hold up. Just
when
hold
you
up
said,
there.
when you because
Okay,
when
how
you
do
say
you
hit
feel
and
as a
run, hold
man
on.
when women approach you?
Listen, I'm in the club. I'm chilling by myself. I usually go to the club by myself. So I usually go and I chill
Okay.
sometimes I go with a group. Sometimes we get a section, but 90% of the time I'm by myself or maybe one other gentleman with me. And I'll just be chilling, and the girls just walk right up next to me, and I wouldn't say I'm not used to it, but it's something that doesn't happen here in the States often. So I'm like, is she trying to hit and run on me?
Yeah.
Is that what's going on?
It could be or it could be not. There's
Mm-hmm,
someone who
mm-hmm.
just wants to shoot their shot and see maybe if they can get into a serious thing with you. There's someone who just wants to hit and run. But you didn't answer my question.
What's the
How do you
question?
feel as a man? How do you feel as a man when ladies approach you here, or what goes on in your mind?
Um, it doesn't phase me. I'm still a man, regardless. My body parts don't change because a woman approached me. So,
Yeah.
actually, I would actually encourage it because you see what we deal with in the States. It's a lot of gamesmanship in relationships. So a lot of times I find myself trying to figure out if a woman is truly interested in me, or well, I could guess the same thing could be in Kenya too, but they don't usually make the first move, right? So the best
Women.
in the States, the best
Mm-hmm.
I will get is she might look at me and I might look at her, she might look away. Or if she really likes me, she might move from this side of the room and be on my side of the room. That's as close as I'm gonna get to what we would say is dropping a handkerchief, right? When
Okay.
I and basically in my thought processes, and for the States, I would say a woman should kind of give you a green light that it's okay to approach you, because in the States we got things like Me Too, harassment, all type of stuff. So you want to be careful if she's just being nice to you or she wants you to approach. And sometimes you gotta, you know, throw the dice and go out there and shoot your shot anyway. But in a place like Kenya or in most places outside the US, the woman would just let me know up front, hey, I like you. I want to get to know you. You know, they
Wow.
make dating very simple. It's very complicated here in the States. Like I have to do a lot of calculations. You know, I have seen women
Yeah.
in Kenya leave their group of friends, walk out by herself, and come talk to me. In the States,
Yeah,
that
that
rarely,
is someone who can, be genuinely interested in you.
right. In the States, that rarely happens. Or a lot when I go to the club, and it's one of my videos, the Diani video, she would just start dancing in front of me. Like just straight up dancing and make eye contact and basically lets me know, hey, listen, I'm interested. You know, you could approach me. You know what I mean? Where in the States, it's more like a guessing game. It's more like a status. It's more like, it's a lot. And some of us are just tired of playing the games. We're just like, yo, I don't want to deal with the games anymore. You know. Oh, I forgot to ask. What tribe are you from, Ancestry? If you want to disclose it, you don't have to if you don't want to.
Okay, okay, just 1 minute. Let me go get water.
Go ahead, go ahead. So Ancestor is getting some water. Let me see what I can play in the meantime. What's up, guys? Don't forget, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to both our channels. Thank you guys for watching. We are just building it as we fly it. And I think we're gonna have a lot more live streams with Ancestors. I think we have a lot to talk about. I didn't even get through none of my questions, and you guys in the chat, you guys are doing great. You guys are doing great with the super chats. Do good with the likes also. And while she's doing that, let me see if I could. Let's see. But I do believe what she says about the Kenyan men. I do observe that. You know, they just seem not to be as interested in the women. they seem to be worried about doing their own thing. And a lot of the women I do speak to, they seem to not really look at Kenyan men seriously. You know, unless they're like a politician or a business owner, they seem to, from what I gather, you know. Shepard, I definitely agree with you on that. I'll definitely say yes. Outside the West, outside America, yes, I find women are very more family oriented all across the world where I traveled. Definitely, I could say that for Brazil, DR, Ghana, definitely Kenya, definitely Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines. Where else have I been? Mexico. Yeah, it seems, yeah. Most women are, now don't get me wrong, a lot are still emulating the States. A lot of them want to work, they want to be independent, they want to bring in some money, and they don't want a family. But the majority, to me, are more family. It's a higher chance of me in where I'm in my life of finding a quote unquote housewife outside the US. I could find one here, but boy, I might not live as long. I might not. By the time I find out, I might be in my 60s. So I think it's easier for me to travel around the world and find a traditional wife. You know, Um, yeah, I would agree with that too. Where were we at Sese when you just stepped away? I forgot what we was up to.
You were talking about you know, like the guessing that happens in the US when it
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
to, if a woman is serious about you or not. And just now, to also speak from a lady's perspective, I think with ladies is also the same, especially ladies who want something that is more serious.
Mm-hmm.
If someone approaches me, I'm like, is this person serious? Are they not serious? Do they just want to play me? Do they want to hit and run? So just the same way, if a serious man is approaching a lady and maybe he wants something more, will ask themselves those questions. Is the same case with ladies. And as ladies, we have really grown to be cautious with almost everything in our lives. Like if I go outside, I have to be very cautious because no one is protecting me. I am by myself. So I'm always looking around what is happening. If I'm in the bus, who is sitting next to me? So it is the same case with relationships. Is this person serious? What do they want? Those kinds of things. So I just wanted to put that across. And Angel is asking me, what can I say about Mijikenda women? Mijikenda women are, they're located in the coasts of Kenya. I have not had a privilege to interact a lot with the coast women because I don't stay there a lot. So I might not have maybe a lot to say about Mijikenda women, but shoot your shots. And I wish you the best. Mwah.
So you mentioned something about looking around. Um, you said you have to look around because you're a woman and you feel unprotected.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you one question first because maybe as a foreigner, me visiting, I felt very safe in Nairobi and in
Yep.
Diani and in Mombasa is a little more grittier, but also Mombasa also. You as a
Mm-hmm.
local woman, even on watching some of the videos of you going to like the more of the, I wouldn't say tribes, like something like a Kabira, I think you were in, and you said that
Yes.
no
Yes.
one's not going to do anything
Mhm.
to you. Like, how do you feel safety overall as being a local Kenyan?
Safety, I feel it is safety to me, it's okay. And also interacting with a lot of foreigners who come here, they're like, safety is just okay, it's just normal. And even in those high-end places or the wealthy places in Nairobi, there are also thieves there. Back in the day, thieves were known to be in the suburbs where the poor people are because they do not have jobs. But
Mm.
nowadays they're going to the rich places so that they can rob from the rich people. I feel safety overall is just okay. You just have to generally be careful wherever you are. And by me saying like I'm walking or being cautious or looking around, of course, it is to, make sure that I'm safe. And you know how many times you can, I don't know if I should say this or what. There's a time that I was just walking and some men just touch you. I think I was angry that day.
Hmm.
I, I hit that guy so hard. He did not believe it. And we walk around. People are saying hi to you, saying, if I walk a 1 kilometer, just 1 kilometer, the men that will try to pull stance on you, maybe someone will try to touch you. Those are the kind of things I'm saying. I'm not saying it's like it happens often, but you just find yourself, being cautious all the time. And also, because I've been stolen from in town before, I'm always cautious. So yeah, it's not
So
that it is very unsafe or what. I just find myself automatically being cautious. Like it just the switch clicks on anytime I'm in town.
so are you fearing for your safety or you're just fearing for like your belongings?
My belongings,
So
because I've
so
been stolen from
mhm.
before. Yeah.
So you don't feel like someone's gonna physically hurt you or take you away or
No.
something like that? Or if you see a group of
Mm-mm.
men, you feel some type of way. You don't experience that.
Mm-mm. No. No, it rarely happens. People being kidnapped or someone stabbing you, it rarely happens here. The thing that happens the most is the stealing, maybe your phone, or someone drags you and takes your money, those kind of things.
Oh
But
wait, they do drugging in Nairobi too?
oh, how do you think I was stolen from? My laptop and phone went. So this person approached me, and me with my good heart. Someone approached me, was like, someone dropped this bundle of envelope, and then on the top it's a note, right? So me with my good heart, I was like, okay, let's look for him so that we can give him the envelope. Since that day, even if you're dying, my friend, I'm not looking at you. So this person was just like, let's look for this person, let's give them let's return them this. I was so stupid. Let's give them. So that is how my laptop and phone went. There are even instances where you can just you are seated at the matatu is the public service vehicle, and then
Mhm.
maybe someone can even touch you, and then there's maybe they drag you, you feel dizzy, they steal your things, and then they go away. There are even instances where you can be dragged, and you even go to the M-Pesa is the mobile money. You go to the M-Pesa, you go to the application, you put the pin, withdraw the money, and give people that money. It is that serious.
Do you know
So
what
it
drug they're
happens.
using?
No, no, no. I don't know, but I just hear that you just feel it, you feel dizzy,
Mm.
and then you lose consciousness. And there's this lady who was at the time giving this story where there were three men. So like she was seated at the window, and then there was a man seated next to him, another one behind her, another one in front of her. So, and because she has been hearing those stories, she started feeling dizzy. And because she was near the window, she opened the window, and then so she didn't get as easy, like as dizzy very fast. And then she started telling people, these people have dragged me. So these guys I lighted the vehicle, and it was like a stage. Now when the vehicle reaches the stage, it might stop a bit to take other passengers. So these guys I lighted the vehicle, and they were looking like at her, like, you see the way someone can look at you very scary because they want you
Mhm.
to do something bad to you. So they were looking at her, waiting for her to get dizzy, and she did not. But it's scary. Like there are those, how is it called? At times you hear those stories, and then they die, and then you hear them again, and then they die. It happens. Like there are those. How is it called? I've forgotten the name. But right now they're not rampant because we have social media, especially TikTok. News goes very fast, so people are aware of those kind of things that are happening. So people are like, "Hey, this and this happened to me. So if you're in town, be careful." Da 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 da. It happens. But people
Hmm.
stabbing you or kidnapping you, no. Theft is there. Theft is there, but you just have to be careful. Even you
That-
who are careful, like me, who I think I'm cautious, you can even be stolen from.
yeah, I
So
find
yeah.
that it's kind of similar to what happens in Colombia sometimes. I think the drug is
Mm.
called scopamine or something like that, where it kind of incapacitates you so that people could steal from you. But usually you have to sniff it or you have to drink it. I'm not too sure, but that's something I was unaware of. Let me shout out to Angel for the super chat. Thank you, Angel. Appreciate that. Angel Blade 35. And he got pounds. So he's definitely from Europe, it looks like. He says, and
You.
I'm coming to Nairobi in September and I'd like to meet you. I don't know how that's going to go. I don't know. But, and and might invite you to the restaurant for some good food at the Jamaican spot. So I don't know.
Yes,
And
yes.
maybe you could arrange that.
Oh,
But,
oh, I hadn't seen his comment. Oh, Angel Blade is saying, I'm coming to Nairobi in September, and I would like to meet you.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely, we can. Yeah, yeah. And you know the spot, Jamrock Restaurant. We can talk business. If you want to buy land, I can be able to link you up. Yes. So you're very much welcome.
Shout out to Ann. She's like, if you want to talk business, You can come meet me at a Jamaican restaurant. Shout out to Ed. Let an angel know what time it is early. If you want to talk business, for sure, she'll link up with you. Oh man,
Business.
I forgot what I was gonna say. That threw me off. So, I was gonna ask you about. You were mentioning something about the drugging and stuff like that. And as an American, as an expat, as a Trini American per se, the only issue, and I'm not used to, well, I guess I am because I travel, but most Americans are not used to seeing those big machine guns just walking around by police, which I rarely saw police anyway. But some police will have them, some security guards would have them. And I was at Oyster Bay. I think it's Oyster Bay. And
Oyster Bay.
I didn't know that Seisha was illegal. So
What?
Seisha,
Yeah.
huh? So Seisha, or what we Americans might call hookah, it's illegal in Nairobi in Kenya. So I'm there chilling, and I don't do Seisha, but the people at my table did. So we just saw the cops, and the cops in Nairobi, guys, they wear a lot of military outfits. So I can't tell if it was military or if it was the police. But they came through, and the music got turned off, and I was afraid, but I wasn't as afraid I would be, or I wouldn't say afraid. I wasn't as nervous or agitated as if a cop in America with a smaller gun did something similar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I didn't know that. And it was like one of those most polite things I've ever seen done by police anywhere. Like they were just politely taking the Seisha away, and I guess they was trying to find the club owner, and people put it at the side. But
the police?
I think it was the police. But they have fatigues on too. But they were collecting the hookah. They were there for the hookah. But they also had those big guns, those Soviet guns, it looks like.
Yeah.
So I didn't know
They
that.
definitely go to the owner because the owner will give them more money. They're not even taking it to go and arrest him. They're just taking it so that they can go and be given a bribe, and that's it.
So you're just gonna pay a bribe, because when I went back the next day, the hookah was right back there, and I heard that the owner or the manager, it's like 3 clubs all together. So they're all 3 clubs all sell the same thing. They're all related to what I know, right? So I only said that because as an American, the only thing I was worried about was someone stealing my cell phone on motorbike. So if I have to take my phone out, especially if you're traveling around Googling, and because we Americans use Google for everything.
Yeah.
From America, Western, we use Google. So in America, it's custom to be on your phone and Googling in public. Phone theft is not something. It happens very, very, very rare, but it's not something we are concerned about on a daily basis. Right.
Okay.
So, and even I saw, I don't know if you know this YouTuber, Amawa. I think he's pretty popular in Kenya. He had a video of someone, I don't know if he staged it or not, but he had a video of, I think, his girlfriend or someone having their phone out. Someone on a motorbike just snatched it and took it. So that was my only concern. And similar to a lot of countries, that would be my main concern, especially something like South America, like in Brazil, they also steal phones. So besides that, I felt, maybe I wasn't, but I could tell the way I felt safe. No one gave me any looks. None of the police gave me any issues. None of the security guards. Everyone was, to me, friendly. I don't know because they could tell I'm American or they could tell I'm from the West or whatever, but most people I've met that's part of law enforcement was friendly, with the exception, I'm going to tell my story real quick, of the customs agent. So story time, guys, story time. So my first time in Kenya, I'm traveling from Egypt, and I came in at 4 a.m. Right. So some of you guys may know I'm a dual citizen. I have 2 passports. Right. So I did not get a visa. This is like when they required visas. I did not have my visa on my American passport, but since I am Caribbean, a lot of the African countries have a pact that you don't need a visa to travel to most of Africa. I don't need a visa to travel most of Africa. I was strictly concerned about that and thinking that, damn, they might not accept my Trinidad passports, which some countries do refuse. And then I have to use my American passport when they refuse that. And then if I had to, I didn't have a visa, so I thought I would have been in a little situation. Of course, not of course, but I thought that was going to be an issue of contention. They let me right in. So I'm like, it's 4 a.m. I paid a driver in advance to meet me at the airport. First time in Kenya, 4 a.m. in the morning. And I get past that, so I start to relax. I'm like, whew, that was the hardest part of getting in the country.
Yeah.
I put my, so I see the doors outside. It's pitch black. I see it, and I'm waiting in line to go through customs. So apparently they have to check each of your bags through an x-ray, right? Which a lot of countries do.
Yeah.
So it's not really weird. So I put my bags through there, and the girl says, phone. And I'm like, why is she yelling phone? And then they say, this is your bag? Yes, it's my bag. Is that you have a phone in there? I was like, yes, take it out. I'm like, why? So I'm thinking I'm thinking to take my phone out to run my bags back again because it was electronic or whatever. She grabbed my phone and put it in the office. Wait here. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? Now, mind you, my phone was in a brand new box, which is probably my mistake, right? It was a brand new iPhone, just like this. But I've been to at that point, I've been to 8 countries, and I always had a backup phone in case someone steals my phone. So I'm there. The guy gets to me, and he tells me how much my phone is worth in US dollars. And basically, we go back and forth for 3 hours on how much taxes I have to pay on this phone because he thinks I'm going to sell it. The option was pay the taxes or leave the phone here with him. And he shows me a closet, which I think is empty boxes of phone boxes. And I could pick it up when I'm leaving. I'm like, I will never see that phone again if I leave it with you. Never. So after 3 hours, he negotiates with me from $500 to $300. And I start to get loud with him, and he reminds me, this is not the United States. I am a government official. Lower your voice. So he checked me real quick. I was like, damn, I don't want to end up in Kenyan prison over $300.
I've noted people from the US speak they are very vocal. Oh my God.
We can talk about that. Yes, I would say I noticed that we speak very loudly, especially when we feel we're taken advantage of, especially when we feel like we're in the right. We do speak loud. So he did tell me to lower my voice, and he kind of reminded me that, he's part of the Kenyan government. And just to wrap it up, because I was there for 3 hours, because I came in at 4 a.m. in the morning, I was in no ability to continue to argue with him. And also the fear of probably end up in seeing a Kenyan jail the first time I even enter Kenya. So I end up paying the settlement, but I paid it by credit card. I'm like, listen, I don't have cash on me. And I didn't leave the place, so I couldn't even set up an M-Pesa. You know what I mean? So all I have is my credit card on me, which I did have cash. I was afraid it was going to search me, but I have my credit card with me. We paid in credit card. Luckily, my bank gave me my money back. And what pissed me off the most was that you're allowed to bring in one item. So I researched after the customs rules and regulations for people bringing things into Kenya. You're allowed to bring in one item duty free. So in most countries, they give you a pamphlet. Well, let me not say most. In America, they give you a pamphlet of what the customs could take from you, what they could charge you with, et cetera, et cetera. He didn't give that to me. He did not give that to me at all. So he knew he could have let me go with the phone, but he still decided to make it difficult for me. You know, so
Yes.
that's my
So it
only
was not
negative
illegal for
experience.
you to come in with a phone because it was one item.
Yep. That was the only negative experience I had with any type of law enforcement, and that was only the first time I came. That was last year, and I got my money back from the bank, so it's all good with me. The last time I came, you know
So
what I did?
did you like go back? Did you go back to the US and then you told them to reverse that money, or what happened?
Yes, yeah. Even before I left the U.S., I did it the next day,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, because I mean, it's common for us to dispute things, and this is why a lot of us, when we travel, we only use our credit cards because it's easy for us to get our money back. We don't want to use our cash. So what I did
So
was,
the credit card, how did you like deposit the money directly to his account or what?
no, he brought a machine, and I swiped it on the machine, and
Yes.
he had to wait a half an hour for confirmation. That was weird too, because I seen like when I pay with my credit card, I see right away where the money is going. So he had to wait 30 minutes for confirmation, and then he let me go. But to me, the it going from 500 to 300 let me know that something weird was going on.
Yeah.
So when I disputed it with the information I found that you're allowed to bring in one item through customs, and what he doing was pretty much illegal. And I emailed, I seen some signs near the airport where it says "fight corruption." Email this person or call this number. I emailed all of them, like
Mm-hmm.
5 people. I CC'd all of them. They
Yeah.
all have KE in the email address, but I'm assuming they're all friends and they all know about it. So,
Yep. They
that was the only negative thing I could say about Kenya. That was the only bad experience I had. And luckily, I got my money back, so it's cool. I still love Nairobi. It's all right. But I would
do.
say when I came in, huh?
When you come to Kenya, anything electronic, especially a phone, though you're saying like you had a backup phone, just remove it from the box, leave the box in the USA, and put that phone in your pockets. Let it be on your carry-on.
That's
Your
exactly
laptop, yeah.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, don't bring in anything new in a box.
Yes.
You're also looking for a drone because I do tend, because we're vloggers, we have a lot of electronics. So they thought I had a
Yes.
drone in my bag, and they would have took the drone too. My friend had a
Oh,
hard time. I don't know what her resolution was, but she had a hard time bringing in a drone into the country. But just like you said, after that, when I come into the country, I put my spare phone in my pocket because they don't
yes.
scan you when you go out. So I
Yes.
actually left the box in the bag. I left the box in the bag, but there was no phone in it. But I had the phone in my pocket. So maybe when they scanned it, maybe they didn't see the box. They didn't see a phone. They just saw a box maybe. And I was lucky, but it has worked all the time since then.
That's
Let's see. We do
wow.
want to encourage you guys to super chat, but I'm gonna answer your question for you, Angel Blade, since you super chat already. Um, right now, there's no visa. It's just ETA for Americans. You can just apply for it before you get to Nairobi. On your way to Nairobi, even at the airport, you can apply for it right then and there. They will expedite it for you if you get off the plane. You go to a certain office before you go to immigration, and they will just approve you. They'll approve your ETA. I think it's like $40 US, and it just gives you access to the country. It's like a visa per se, but you don't have to submit a lot of documents. Maybe where you're staying, your flight information, things like that. But it's not an issue anymore. You could do it on the flight or when you arrive. The Jamaican passport, I'm assuming, is much like my Trinidadian passport because Trinidad, Jamaica are part of CARICOM. I'm assuming they still have that same reciprocity where you can go in to most African countries without an issue because we're all part of the diaspora, but you still got to do the ETA. So right now, Jamaicans, Trinidadians, American passport, you still have to pay the $40. You could do it, like I said, you could do it right there when you land, or you could do it before you land. You just got to put in your flight information, your return flight, where you're staying, and honestly, they don't really check it that hard because I put in like a different Airbnb than what I was staying. So they ain't really, they just want their $40. You know what I mean? But prior last year, they didn't have the ETA in effect. The ETA wasn't going on. So prior last year, or I should say, yeah, 2023, you had to get a visa if you were an American. And I was rolling the dice thinking that my Trinidad passport would work for me, and it did. Um, Shout out to Bacchus. Your camera is okay, but the drone, bro, that lady, that chick was looking for it. They're looking for phones and drones. Tell you that right now. They looking for that. So I was actually talking to Fearless about buying a drone. I want to know how small the drone was because the only way I was gonna buy one was if it fit in my pocket. If it can't fit in my pocket, I don't want them to take it because you need to be licensed to operate a drone in Kenya.
Yes.
And because of, I think, I don't know, you could correct me on this, Ann. I think you guys have like a kind of anti-terrorism thing where the drones can't be flown in the city. So even if you have your drone, Bacchus, you won't be able to fly it in most places. You won't get the GPS coordinates wouldn't allow you to fly it. So most people, they
Yeah,
have
that's
to
true.
hire a drone company to take your footage for you.
Yeah.
Well, if the Air Mini fits in your pocket, bro, then you're good to go. But like I said, they have the GPS locked down for most places, so it may not take off. It may not take off. And how you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
What time is it?
Discussed
Remind me
a
what time
lot.
is it?
You know,
Huh?
I had it is 11:22 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's my other questions I had? So let's see. We did that. We did that. Um. So tell me a little bit because where'd you go?
I'm here.
Tell me a little bit about Gen Z, and we don't want to talk about the protests, but more about the economics. Like I did see some people who didn't have jobs. I did meet a lot of nurses. I met doctors. I met teachers. Tell me about like the living wage and how people, how do people make money? Are people unemployed? Is it hard finding work? Like things like that.
Okay, so what is happening in Kenya currently right now? So many people are, especially the young people, they're looking into being content creators, YouTubers, because at least from that, that is where they can get, some money. And just to talk about, the finance bill that was dropped, there's this politician who was saying, like, because they were also now wanting to tax the money that content creators are getting online. So this politician was like, we are not in a position to provide jobs for these people. Any money that they get, maybe if it is from their salary, we still tax them. The items that they buy, we still tax them. The basic needs, we tax them. Now, because there are no jobs and they are focusing now into content creation, at least so that they can get something small for themselves, you still want to go ahead and tax them, you see. So that was also a segment that was in the finance bill, just to put that across. So we have a lot of people who are coming up, to be content creators either on TikTok or YouTube. And you think YouTube has been amazing. It has changed a lot of lives for people, I believe, worldwide. People are able to get partnerships from companies, people are going viral, people are being, all those things. And when it comes to jobs, jobs are not as much, and right now a lot of people are want to go outside Kenya. I personally have friends, very my best friends, who are outside Kenya because they're looking for greener pastures. And one of my friend, in fact, who is in the UK, at least for me being in the real estate, it put me in a position to earn slightly more because I was being paid, on commission. So at times I'll get at least something that can sustain me. At times I will get zero. But I was telling her, if you were in Kenya right now, you'll not be surviving, because I knew the salary she was getting. Her salary was
Mm.
constant. So right now, a lot of Kenyans who are in Kenya, not just even the young, even the old, are looking into going abroad. Most of them are looking into going to Canada, the States, Australia, Europe to get greener pastures so that they can be able to sustain themselves. And just to say that, I also know because I've been in a position to work with a lot of Kenyans who are outside Kenya and most specifically in the USA. A lot of Kenyans who are outside Kenya, I'll say a good number of them know what took them there. So they've been able to work and invest back home. These are the people who are investing in real estate. These are the people who are building. These are the people who are buying land. These are the people who are buying apartments. These are the people who are setting up big businesses, buying huge farms. So most of the Kenyans want to go outside Kenya to find something and then come back home after they've invested because jobs are not there. And if they are there, the salary is little, but the taxes are high. So prices keep going up, but your but prices keep going up, but your salary is constant. This year I was also in a position, to get a second job just to be able to also sustain myself. So it's not very easy for people. So people are going into content creation, people are going into working from home, people are going into looking online, finding short courses that they can do here and there so that they can work at the comfort of your home. And I think that's a very good thing. If you're able to get good money while you're seated at home, I think that's the best because you're saving a lot on transport. Yeah, so people are becoming smart, doing content creation, going on YouTube, looking for courses to do online, looking for certificates, and then looking for those jobs online. People are being social media managers. People are being personal assistants to big people. But getting jobs is not easy. And here in Kenya, if you want to get a job, you have to know someone who knows someone who knows someone. There's this time when I was looking for my attachment. Attachment is that like you have to go when you're in the middle of your university or campus, you have to go and work for like 3 months in any organization. So I remember my dad had sent me to JKIA and he had sent me by myself and I'd never been to JKIA. And then JKIA is so big. If you're small, I didn't
Tell
know
me
where
what
to go.
JKIA is.
JKIA is the airport, the Jomo
Oh, okay.
Kenyatta International Airport, yes. So he had sent me there to go and look for attachment. Even getting an attachment was not easy, and yet he was being referred to someone and someone. So I went there and then I sat at the office, and then this person was like, "Who has sent you?" And I was like, "My dad knows this and this person, and then this person is the one who referred us to." And I think maybe there were two people in between there who knew this person. So yeah, in Kenya, if you want to get a job, you have to know someone. And that is why I was even telling you, even in the government, there are people who are ministers and they're not qualified, but they've been put there because they know someone. That is what happens. So right now in Kenya, connections are better than papers. You can get a job without having papers. So that
Wow.
is how it is, yes, currently.
I mean, that's almost a global thing, unfortunately. Even in the States, if you got the right connections, you don't need no degree. Well, you'll get the job.
Hmm.
Shout out to Spiral Black. I think and when you say attachments, I think you're referring to internships, which what we
Yes,
will
yes,
call
I
in the
mean,
States, which is basically unpaid work.
yes. You
Okay.
see, even the unpaid work is still a challenge to get.
So even to work for free, it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it competitive?
Yeah.
All right. I had something else. I gotta.
Thank you, Chef Adoria, for sharing Vlog Tripping's link channel of the YouTube. Squad, you can go and subscribe to his channel. He has
Yeah,
amazing content over there.
join the flight crew. You know what I'm saying? Join the flight crew.
Yeah.
Where's my other questions I had? What were we talking about in our first interview? What am I missing?
I feel like we've covered most of the things, but let me see.
Hmm.
Oh, I have some questions for you too.
Boom. Let's go.
Have you ever dated any African girl?
Is
The
it, is it a
one who is not born in the US, here in Africa, not there, here in Africa.
is that a 2-part question or a 1-part question?
One part question. Have you
All
ever
right.
dated any African girl who is not born in the USA? One who is originally here.
I have dated several Kenyans while I was there in my 3
Mhm.
months.
Okay.
I've also dated people from the continent here in America. So I
Okay.
have no. I think I'm well. What's the right word? Nigerian, Ghanaian, Kenyan, South African. Even that small place in South Africa, I forgot what they call it. There's a Swaziland or Swaziland or whatever. So
Swazi.
yes,
Swazi.
actually, the main reason, not the main reason, how I ended up coming to Kenya in the first place was
Mm-hmm.
because I originally was in Thailand for about, let's say, 8 to 9 months. And I've met so many. So I thought I was gonna like the Thai women. I do not. No disrespect to the Thai women. You guys are beautiful, but I wasn't able to make a connection. But I saw so many black women from all across the planet, from
Yeah.
America, from Europe, from Africa in particular, and I was able to connect and date there as well. So I was thinking, how come I never go? I travel a lot. How come I never go to Africa? I'm black. I'm from Africa. I'm part of the diaspora. My family, forefathers, they were slaves. How come I never go visit Africa? I'm gonna go pick a country in Africa. So I went
Mhm.
to Ghana. I went to Egypt. No, I went to Egypt first, Ghana. Then I came to Kenya, and I'm glad I did. But basically, I came here following women. So
Okay.
the women in arms is why I end up in Africa in the first place. But of course, it's bigger than that now. But yes.
So, okay. Oh, okay. Everyone who is here, including you need to know. You see, here in Africa,
Mm.
when we ask you, are you dating? We are asking you, are you in a serious relationship? Just to put that
Ah,
out there.
so see, dating to me means you're getting to know somebody.
But here it's
So
different.
okay, so to revise that answer, well, I got to know women from Kenya, from all those places. Um, stateside, I have dated people from the continent that were, I don't know if they were born in the continent, but they're definitely families from the continent. So they may be American born, you know.
Mhm.
Yo, I'm definitely going to Uganda, bro. Definitely, 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 definitely on the next trip. I'm hearing too many good things. Wait, Ancestor, you ever been to Uganda?
Nope.
Okay, okay. All right, go ahead. Shoot. Go with the questions.
But I've interacted with Ugandans. They are very, very good people. I have.
All right, what else you got for me?
Okay. Oh, so what has been your experience dating, African girls from Africa?
Ah, man, I would say ah, I would say they have a lot in common, being
Hmm.
that more or less being from Trinidad, because our
Yeah.
cultures are very similar, and I always considered, well, the Caribbean in itself really considers themselves a lost tribe. They know that they're from Africa, but they don't know where, they don't know what tribe, they don't know what culture. So
Yeah.
we kind of grab whatever we can and try to make a relationship with Africa. Like a lot of religions, a lot of the dress, a lot of the dances. We know it comes from
Yeah.
Africa, but we don't know what country. We don't know what tribe, but we know we're African. So I think when I get to meet people from Africa, date one from Africa, I get that kind of commonality that I usually don't find with people who, even though Black Americans to me are from Africa, they may not consider themselves from Africa. So I don't get that connection with them that I do with someone who's from the Caribbean or someone who's from Africa. Because we might not know much about it, but then when I speak to someone from Kenya and they can tell me what tribe they're from, and they can tell me their village and their chief, and they could tell me their foods, they could tell me their dress, they could show me like music, you know, that stuff I like. I like to interact with those things. It's more of a, not saying Black Americans don't have culture. It's just that there's a lot more recorded culture from someone from Africa, I would say.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say besides that, you know, women are women all over the world. You know, to add to Fearless, he was saying that I think some other people in the chat said this also, that I would say people outside the US in general, not just Africa, the women are more geared towards family. So as a man who is almost transitioning into my family stage, that will be more attractive to me.
Okay. Okay, let me see if I have another question for you.
And guys, if you have questions, please
drop them below.
Hit us a super chat. Don't just drop them below. Hit us a super chat, because you know I will put up all the comments. But if you want us to stop what we're doing, you know, you gotta hit us a super chat so we can stop our conversation and acknowledge you right there in the spot and answer your question. Definitely shout out. We had some good super chats. Shout out to Angel Blade 35. Shout out to Spiral Black.
Yeah.
Shout out to my man Fearless Podcast. Shout out to Daryl Lifestyle Boys. I find it, you know, I was a little weird. I was like, what the hell does LSB mean? I don't know what does it mean. But shout out to Lifestyle Boys. I'm in their WhatsApp group. I met one of the creators in Thailand. His name escapes me at the time, but we had a great time. He showed me around. He actually helped me get my apartment in the Wagaman area in Pattaya. So shout out to him. Shout out to Charlie B, who said great content. Shout out to Kings and Dreams. Show me love. I try to always show him love back. I gotta fix my super chat. I couldn't super chat. I try my best to super chat on your podcast, Fearless, and what you call it, and Ronan. And for some reason, it wouldn't let me do it. So I will return the favor back. And shout out to Zach for the smiley face, glasses, cool emoji. You know, so thank you for that. Let's see. So what else you got for me, Ancestor?
Are you looking into investing in Africa, and how did you find it?
Good question. So, you know, it's funny. I didn't know that you were into real estate. So I think we might have to have a side conversation also. While I was there, I don't know if you saw my my GTC video. And
yes, I did.
For my video of my friends, I call it a mini mansion. So let me see. I'm going to share some of it right now. I'll take the sound off because I don't want you to get copywritten. So like, yeah, this is the GTC. So yeah, I'm very interested in the real estate, and in Nairobi in particular. They're building all these new buildings, and these are Western, I would say Western level or better. You know, they have smart buildings, they have AC, they have washing machines, they even have what they call that place. I don't want to use the word servant. It's domestic service quarters, like DSQs. Basically, a place where the maid, right, yeah. a place for the maid to stay. And like I said, every time I've been in Kenya, I always had a housekeeper at some point or another, right? Yeah. So let me just go to this other video I have, and if you could get us in, that we could do some videos on properties, you know, I would love that. I would love to do some real estate videos from Kenya in particular. I do see myself wanting to buy property in Kenya, but before I do that, I want to stay for 6 months straight. because I've only been there, I would say, a month at a time. So I've been there 3 times,
Yeah.
3 months. At least I want to stay another 3 months straight through, so I get a better feel for it. I think there's lots of opportunity, and the only thing that I'm skeptical about, one, the government, and two, it's like everything comes from private investment. Like, who's working on the roads? You guys had a lot of flooding while I was there. And I'm worrying about resale value. Like, I don't know. Maybe you could show me, educate me. I don't see much of the values going up in prices. Like, as far as like if you bought a condo last year, did the price go up this year? So I don't know about the return on investment. And then I'm not sure on the rules on ownership being a foreigner. So maybe you could talk about that after this, about what you need to do as a foreigner to own property, or if I have to become a resident or something like that. And then someone in the chat said Airbnb. There are a lot of Airbnbs, which could be a good thing or a bad thing, because I see it's a lot of competition. Everyone kind of has the same idea. And every time I go there, I stay at Airbnb. To me, they're a little pricey. My last Airbnb, but I went to stay in Westland. I paid, I think, almost 1,800 US for the month. But I was being bougie. I could have stayed somewhere a lot cheaper. I could have stayed in a studio, but I wanted a 2 bedroom, and I wanted the pool, and I wanted to be right next to GTC, and I wanted to be in Westland, all this other stuff. But you can stay there for a lot cheaper for a lot longer. So yeah, I do want to invest, and I'm still trying to figure out the best way to invest. I would, however, rather start a business. I would, besides investing into a Airbnb or into a house, I would rather invest into something that generates money in Kenya, and then have that business pay for my housing. I know I talked a whole lot.
Anyway, those are good things you're showing us there. So concerning real estate, you told me like to mention a little bit, especially okay. You see, for me, Jay, most of the people who follow me are from the US. So if you're a foreigner and you want to invest in Kenya, it's not hard. I know a certain Jamaican who stays in Canada, and he has successfully bought land. He had his title deeds taken to where he stays. So it's not hard, and the simple rules are, just the basics. If you want to invest in a place, of course, it is very important for you as an investor to do your due diligence in terms of maybe is it land, is the land genuine, the people who are building it, you can check up their history. And if you don't want to do all the due diligence by yourself, it is very, very important for you as an investor to hire a lawyer to do all that work for you. So you pay them, they do the due diligence, they check the legitimacy of the apartment or the building or the land that you want to buy. And when everything is good and in check, you can now go ahead and invest. So the first step, it will be for you as an investor to identify what you want. Do you want to invest in Airbnb? Do you want to invest in farming? Do you want to build rentals? Do you want to buy land and build rentals? Do you want something that is already fully furnished? What do you want as an investor? So when you identify what you want, then you can now locate the area. Do you want to invest in Nairobi? Is it the coast? Is it up north? Where? After you've located the region, you now look into the market, the people who are selling what you want. You looked at all the companies. When you find out the company that you want to invest in, that is now where you go ahead and hire a lawyer to do for you the due diligence. They can do for you the due diligence, as I've mentioned. And when everything is clean, you can now approach the company, tell them I want this and this and this, and then they will tell you when you want to buy anything, either an apartment or land. There's a document they offer you that is called an offer letter. An offer letter is a document that stipulates what you're buying, where you're buying, how much is the price, whom are you buying it from, what is the size, is it a two bedroom, is it a land, a quarter acre, an eighth of an acre. So it will stipulate the basics of what you're buying. Is it land? If it's a two bedroom, it is a two bedroom, it constitutes of these amenities, it is this price, this is the deposit, this is the amount that you're supposed to pay monthly, all those things. So you can also go ahead and involve your lawyer in that step. Send them the document so that they can also verify it. And the moment you involve your lawyer in your documents, it means that you have the legal ground to sue the seller if anything happens. So after the offer letter, you can go ahead and start your payment. Of course, the official bank account that the seller has offered you. So you go on with your payment, and then it will reach a time, probably the onset or on the onset of the purchase, or in the middle of the purchase, where they'll issue you a sales agreement, which is legally binding. Now, a
So
sales agreement goes into much detail, you know. Yes, what are you saying?
so let me ask you a more simpler question because you're going into a lot of detail, but I think
Mhm.
would be as a foreigner, can I own land?
Yes, you can, but on lease. On lease means that that land will be yours for 99 years.
So it's like a freehold lease.
No, it's leasehold, because for a freehold,
Leasehold.
like for me
Okay.
as a Kenyan, if I buy land, that land is mine forever. But
Okay.
as a foreigner, when you buy land, it will be on lease for 99 years. So you'll be able to own that land for a period of 99 years. And then when 99 years elapses, the government can either decide to take that land, or they can allow you to renew the lease for another 99 years.
So when you renew that lease, you have to buy it again?
No, I don't think you have to buy again. I'm not so sure about that. I don't think you have to buy again, but there's definitely a certain amount of fees that you will pay to renew the lease.
And what if I sell to someone? Let's say I buy this property with a lease of 99 years or whatever, and I sell it to, let's say I sell it to my relative. Does the 99 start over?
Yes, you can still be able to resell it because the 99 years is not yet over.
But the new person, do they get a new 99 years?
I'm not very sure about that, but I think the 99 continues, but being in a position to, of course, deal with most people who are foreigners, I'm definitely going to get that info and then tell you guys. I'm not very sure about that,
Yeah,
but
because
I
I
think it continues.
because
Knowing Kenya, I think it continues. It doesn't start afresh again. I'm not sure.
because this is kind of like what will make a lot of people hesitant about buying because when they hear, it's a leasehold, it kind of throws us back to, do we actually own it? And because sometimes, because when I was there the first time in Kenya, you guys had a little, not as crazy protest as you guys had recently. It was another, it was, I guess, in Kibera primarily, another separate protest because I came during
Hmm.
election time. And as a foreigner, I look at that as something being unstable. So it's like, do we want to invest in a country that the government might come and take your land back? So
Hmm.
that would be a concern, that, or an objective you might want to clear up for foreigners, because as even America, as shaky as it is, when you do buy something, you do own it. They just tax you on it for the rest of your life, but you do own it. So it's like, do we want to be in do we want to know how solid and how protected our investment is.
I
So
get your question, that if the
mhm.
title is on lease, do you actually own that land? Yes, you do actually own that land. If that is the question, you do actually own that land. The government cannot come ambush you tomorrow and they take that land. No, that land is actually yours, but for 99 years. So that is your land. You can do whatever it is that you want. You can build, you can farm, you can resell, you can do whatever it is that you want, because the land is yours, but for 99 years. And there are cases where now, after 99 years, the government can still allow you now to renew the title deed and own it for another period, or now they can take it back.
Yeah, that's the scary part. They're taking it back. So
Yeah,
obviously that hasn't stopped the Asians from investing in Kenya because
that
there
hasn't
is
stopped the Asians, it hasn't stopped the Chinese, it hasn't stopped, oh my God.
yes, there's a. I have witnessed even at building the GTC. I have seen like the Asian letters, and it's a conglomerate of. I think there's some Kenyan companies in there, but it's primarily. I don't know if it's from China in particular. I say Asian because I'm not sure if they're Korean, Japanese, but I'm assuming Chinese, and they're investing in Kenya. So I'll be interested. There must be some safeguards, otherwise they wouldn't do it because they're investing
Yes.
that big
Mhm.
building that I have in there too. So I'm sure I just need the answers that will make me feel safe to then come and invest.
Yes, and of course, within that period of 99 years, if you have a very good plan, you will reap so by the time the 99 years are over, you'll have reaped so much, like so much profit from it. And you'll have even maybe reaped so much profit of it in such a way that you'll even have invested in other regions and other areas, or even back in the US or something.
All right. But I think people wanna pass it down. Obviously, we're not gonna live forever. So my
Yeah.
concern is I want to pass it down to a relative. Does the relative what happens to them when it hits the 99 years after I passed away?
Mm-hmm.
And one other question for you: how hard is it to become a? I think residency is pretty easy, but how hard is it to become a Kenyan citizen?
You can become a Kenyan citizen by number one, marrying a Kenyan wife or a Kenyan husband, having a Kenyan husband or wife, or you can be a Kenyan citizen by staying here for how long? Let me see.
Because I think because I did see some Americans that, or I would even say Europeans that they marry their Kenyan spouse, and they
Mm-hmm.
have dual citizenship. For me, I'll be adding another passport, and now I feel comfortable investing because now I'm a Kenyan citizen. So I don't have to
Yes,
have that freehold 99, whatever the case is. And now I own it
yes,
without government. I mean, I know what you're saying, but to me, I still feel like the government is there in the background, just waiting for the 99 years to pass to just take it. So it would make me feel more comfortable, if I want to go that route. And I could possibly go that route where I can just, hey, listen, move to Kenya, find me a Kenyan wife, marry her, and now I could go full head using my US funds to invest in Kenya. That might be a way forward.
yeah. And you can see someone in the comment section. He's saying no. It continues from the original leasehold. Yes, you remember I said knowing Kenya, it continues
Mhm.
from the original
And
leasehold.
that
It doesn't
and
start afresh.
so that needs to be for me. I would need to have some type of contingency for that when that leasehold ends, or if if I'm gonna be in Kenya, I might as well become a citizen and own that right out because I would definitely want to pass that on to my relative or my wife or something. I wouldn't want them to go through this consistent renewal, even though it's a very
Yeah.
long time, and not knowing that you guys, your government, your rules could change in 100 years, and it probably will.
Yes.
It could change for the
Correct.
better, and it could change for worse. They might you might have someone that comes in power that says, "Hey, we want to kick all the foreigners out, so we're going to take their land back," which some countries have done that previously. So it's always about. I would say I like Kenya for Nairobi in particular. I like Nairobi for its perceived safety. I feel safe. I like the convenience of M-Pesa, meaning that I could transfer money from the
Yeah.
States into M-Pesa pretty easily. I don't have to have a wallet. I basically walk around my phone by itself. I transfer money as I need it. So maybe every 2 days I might transfer 50 US dollars if I need that much because you can get along with less than $20 a day, even less than that. Just me being a foreigner, I might spend more money than a local. And also, just mainly the Kenyan people. The treatment I received, everyone is very respectful. Everyone is very kind. When I go into stores, everyone's very nice to me, and that includes the nightlife also. So I have a good time. I'm always meeting people all the time like that. So I tell those are three reasons. It comes down to convenience, safety, and nightlife for me.
So I've Googled
Uh huh.
a person who has lawfully resided within Kenya for a continuous period of at least 7 years under the authority of a valid permit and with continuous 3 years of residency in Kenya preceding the application of permanent residency. So you can be a permanent, you can now own land on freehold if you're a permanent Kenyan citizen. And you become a permanent Kenyan citizen when you stay in Kenya continuously for 7 years. And then you also still stay in Kenya continuously for 3 years after you applied there to be a Kenyan citizen. Hope you guys have understood.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good.
Mhm.
That's good. Let's see. We've been on for almost 2 hours. What
Two and
what
a
what else,
half hours.
what else you want to ask me? Because it's 5 o'clock here, and I got to go out tonight. And are you off tomorrow?
No, tomorrow I'll be at work.
So what time is it now? At least I can tell you. It's almost 12 a.m. in Nairobi.
Yeah, 3 minutes to 12 a.m.
What else you got for me?
Um, anyone who has questions, ask us before we wrap up.
Yep, yep, yep. Yes, Angel Blade. I use Remitly. Matter of fact, where's my Remitly code? I'm about to put my Remitly code in here. I'm also gonna drop. Let's see. I use Remitly primarily. If you guys don't know, Remitly is what I use to transfer money um, back and forth from the States to M-Pesa. And the good thing about M-Pesa is you don't have to be a citizen of Kenya to use it and get it. That's the link to my link tree. And let me see if I could put the link to my to Remitly. So Remitly gives you pretty good exchange rates. It's not just for Kenya; it's for a lot of countries. So it is definitely something I use. And if you use my link, you can get $10 for free and even a high exchange rate. Check my link tree or check the link I just dropped. But yeah, Remitly is definitely the way to get money into your M-Pesa for sure. And I love M-Pesa. I love that even the people on the street that ask for money have M-Pesa. I think I think that's hilarious. But it just shows you how, in some ways, Kenya is more developed than some countries. Because maybe you could answer this to me, Anne. Like, do you have cash?
Yes, I do have cash,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm an accountant by profession. So M-Pesa is definitely much more expensive because anytime you send someone money, you have to incur transaction cost. So for
Right.
me, I prefer withdrawing the money in bulk and just using it a step at a time. And I was so impressed. 2 days ago, I went back to my campus to take my campus certificates. So back then, we were used to you have to go to the bank and pay, and then you bring the slip to the university. So when I reached the university, I was like, "Oh, I've already paid, and I'm here to take my certificate." And then they were like, "No, we don't use bank nowadays." And then they told me, and then apparently I had some balance that I hadn't cleared. So I was so stressed out. I was like, "No, I have to go again to town and then pay and then come back." They were like, "No, we have a system online. You pay while you're standing there, and it's just via M-Pesa. And then they clear you, and that is how I was able to get my certificate. And I've also interacted with so many people who are, foreigners. They're like, M-Pesa is so easy and swift. And even if you have a phone that does not is not on the internet, the very old phones, you can still transact through M-Pesa, and M-Pesa is really changing. That is because you see there's this the matatu, the public service vehicle. There's a route that normally goes to the ghetto, and of course, you know how ghetto people behave. They will send you the transport, the transport. I mean, like the money for the transport
Mhm.
via M-Pesa. Then after they highlight the vehicle, they will reverse it back to themselves. It used to happen a lot. So this particular matatu sacco was not allowing people to pay via M-Pesa because of that. So you have to board when you're having cash because people are reversing all the time. But nowadays they have, but like they were so hard headed. If you had M-Pesa, you highlight the vehicle. So they've just had to embrace the M-Pesa, but nowadays there's a way you can send money via M-Pesa that someone cannot withdraw. So it's definitely changing the world. People in the US, Kenyans in the US, they invest in Kenya via M-Pesa, in Germany, which is it's good. So hearing from a foreigner that M-Pesa is really swift, and knowing that you people are way ahead of us in technology compared to us, it means it's a good thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I had to reverse the transaction one time, and the person emptied the M-Pesa account, so I only got back maybe maybe like less than a quarter of what I was supposed to get back. But the way it explained to me, that account, that M-Pesa account is always going to be negative until they put money back in it. They can't use M-Pesa again, correct? Or can they just go get another M-Pesa account?
No, no, no. If you reverse money, you see, if you send me money and you send me
Uh-huh.
by mistake and I withdraw the cash, I have it in cash, you cannot be able to get your money back if you want if you want a reversal, and it
Mm.
won't stay on negative. Let's say if someone else sends me money, they can't use someone else's money to reverse you your money. It doesn't happen that way. The money that will be reversed to you is your money, not someone else's money. So if I happen to withdraw that money and have it in cash, and then someone else sends me money via M-Pesa, you won't be reversed that money because that was not your money.
So they got
Yeah,
over on me.
and they will continue using M-Pesa. The only issue is when you send it via bank. Some time back last year, I sent my rent by mistake to another account that is a bank account. I was so oh my god. And now with the bank now they will have to the recipient of the account has to confirm that that money was sent to them by mistake. If that
Wow.
person does not if that person does not receive the phone calls from the bank, your money will be gone like that. So I had to pay my rent again. I had to look for money to pay rent again
They didn't give it
because with
back
the
to you?
bank, no, they did not because the recipient of the account did not approve. Oh my God. It was the
Wow.
worst day of my life.
Sorry to hear that. But let me shout out to MJB12 for the super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. He says, great live. Hope you do more like this. You know what? And we should do more like this. I think that we should set up something to talk more about, especially about Ghana. We got to talk about Ghana. We got, and the Ghanaians may hate us, but we got to talk about our experience in Ghana. I went to Ghana
Mm-hmm.
last year. You went earlier this year. Let's see how much we we intersect on
We
our
agree and
thoughts
disagree. Mm-hmm.
and our experience, because Ghana is, I think, not to go too much into it, people overhype Ghana, and I think they may be overlooking Kenya in that process. That's all I can say about that so far. Um, let's see. Yeah, I'm about to go get ready. Let me get your final thoughts. Let me see. And I have a whole bunch of questions, but we're not gonna get through it today. So let me get your what's your future for Kenya, or what kind of future do you see for Kenya? Like where would you want it to go?
Um, I think Kenya is developing very, very quickly, and the best is yet to come. And considering I've been to Tanzania and Ghana, if you've not been to Kenya, Kenya is way up there. And considering I've been privileged to interact with a lot of foreigners who have their eyes in Kenya, who are investing in Kenya, you better run to Kenya before everything goes up, 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 up. And I've also heard there's a certain unit, I'm not sure, there's a certain unit or department of the UN where they are bringing offices to Kenya. So we'll be having a lot of expatriates here. I don't know what it is about, but it's something like that is
They
happening.
they
So
moved
a lot of
they're moving the
Kenya,
headquarters. Sorry, they're moving the headquarters of Africa, I think, to Kenya for the UN. So one of
yeah.
the headquarters,
Mhm.
one of the major centers are moving there. And also to add, Kenya has a lot of Nairobi in particular has a lot of embassies, and they're all close to each other. So
Yes.
it's very developed, high end area of all these, including the American embassy, the German
Mhm.
embassy. All these embassies are all like in close proximity to each
Within
other.
the same place. I agree.
And the UN is moving their one of the headquarters over there. So
Yeah.
that's big in development also.
Yeah. So if you're checking into real estate, definitely come here. That is Airbnb. If you want to buy land, it is a great place for you to do so. And yeah, I can't wait what Kenya has to offer. I have only been to two countries in Africa, not two. Uh, let me say four, but the other two I didn't, walk around so much. But Kenya is definitely a good place so far. So you're all welcome. Invest here. And if you're looking into services of real estate, even as I am growing in this industry, you can always hit me up on my Instagram. You can hit me up on YouTube. If you want to support me, if you want to donate to me, you can definitely send a super chat, or let me send a link of Buy Me Coffee. I definitely prefer people donating on Buy Me Coffee because it doesn't take as much before you
Yeah,
get the
YouTube is
donation,
greedy.
and they only take 10%. YouTube takes 30%, and you have to wait for a month. So you can definitely support me. If you're coming to Kenya, you need someone to run errands for you, check out Ancestry. I'm able to do that for you. If you need someone to help you walk around, definitely go ahead. Yeah, so thank you, Vlog Tripping. This has been awesome. Oh my God, 1 hour, not 1 hour, 2 hours, 40 minutes. It has definitely good
and
discussion.
and this
Yeah.
came together this morning, right? I was supposed to work today, and luckily my work got canceled. Still got paid, by the way. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what made everything work out.
Yes.
One thing I would add, not to stretch on any longer, but what you said about paying someone to do errands for you in Nairobi, I think it's essential for us foreigners because I don't think I like to negotiate. I like to haggle. I don't think many foreigners have the strength or the energy for it. So to get the best prices, I've noticed it's better to pay someone. It's better I pay you, um, let's say, what 1,500 shillings or whatever for you to run around and buy everything I need, and you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna save me maybe 10,000 shillings. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I realized that there is some type of dependency on, or not dependency. I would say a leg up. I can't find the right word, but there is something positive about having a local in your corner to just transact things, even to get this. Guess how much I paid for this?
Yeah. You told me.
Yeah, the first time I paid, I think 800
Mm-hmm.
shillings, and the last time I got it down to 400,
Yeah.
which to me is not a lot of money, but it adds up if you have to buy a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Even this I bought in bulk. I think I paid I think I paid 1,000 shillings for 10 of these. Right. You're looking
For
like I'm
10,000?
crazy. I
That's
think so. Let me check how much
mhm.
that is in US.
A
I
thousand.
think
That is like almost $9 or $8.
right. And I'm gonna show. Let me see if I can show you guys. Yeah, like $8. How much you would pay for 10 of these?
For one, I will not pay more than 50 cents USD.
50 cents USD is hold on, point 50. 65 shillings.
Mhm.
Hold on one second. Hold on. Let me see if I have this close by.
Guys, I'm hungry. So hungry.
So I'm back. So I had these made.
Wow. Why did you get so many?
Well, I one, this is from my country, Trinidad, and I'm wearing the same thing from the Maasai, and I bought 10 each.
Mm-hmm.
And 10 each, it cost me 2,000 shillings. So I think it works out to 15 dollars US. And I bought it because I could sell this for $40 each.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how I was gonna build a website. I don't know. So is it 10? Actually, it looks less than 10. Maybe there's more in the bag. But anyway,
The reason I'm telling you that is because you see, even this here,
uh-huh.
any Kenyan who is not in Kenya, they buy this a lot, a lot, a lot. So they have someone make them for them, like make for them these ones here in Kenya, and then they go sell. Because every Kenyan who's not in Kenya, most of them have this. They want to be identified with this, so they buy it.
I agree. Everyone in America that stops me, are you Kenyan? And I talk to them,
Yes,
and it's such a beautiful thing.
yeah,
So
it's a thing.
I'm gonna show one video from, let's see, who says keep snacking. I'll show one video. This is the day we actually met.
Yes,
I don't want to play the audio because it might get copyright. This is in Jamrock, right?
yes, Jamrock.
So you were so kind enough to record this video for me. I didn't actually make a video of the. I didn't make a. I didn't make a vlog of it. I might. I
Mm-hmm.
might throw it in there. I don't know. But
Yeah.
but yeah, man. What's my closing thoughts, real quick? Yes, we gotta do this again. Thank you guys for all the super chats. Thank you guys for all the likes. We're gonna try to make more interactive topics, but we just picked up today. We'll try to schedule a little bit more in advance. But we just picked up today and just was like, look, we just gonna run it, and we're glad everyone came out to support us.
Yeah.
I love Kenya. I love Nairobi. Shout out to all my subscribers. Shout out to the flight crew. I'm gonna find a way to put this online. And then when I go back, actually I still have a few of these. I have 5 more of these. So when I go, I might try to I tried it on Etsy, but Etsy's a little difficult. Maybe I might have my own website, put it up there instead. But I like things. I don't really like much jewelry. I mean, minus the earrings, but I like cultural things like this. I like to feel more African as I can.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, thank you guys. Don't forget, like our channel, check out some of our videos. I'm gonna read the super chats one more time, and I think that's it. I don't know if you have anything else you want to say, Ancestry.
Chef Adoria, thank you. Spiral Black, Angel Blade, um, The World Drifter,
Let me see.
MJ12, The Andrew Show, Alpha Digitals, J. J. Wealth, The World Drifter, MJ12, The Andrew Show, Alpha Digitals, J. J. Wealth, The Andrew Show, Alpha Digitals, J. J. Wealth, The Andrew Show, Alpha Digitals, J. J. Wealth, The Andrew Show, Alpha Digitals, Charlie B, Simply Eunice.
Shout out to all of them. Shout out to all of them. Where's my Kenya words I had? Let me see if I have it. There you go. My words in Swahili. Asante.
Asante.
Asante, correct me. There you go.
Yeah. Guru Visuals.
Asante.
Genzi Africa is a YouTuber. He's a Burundian YouTuber who stays here in Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah. Rami, all of you, thank you so much. If you guys were not interacting, this live will not definitely have been this
Going on
long.
so long, for sure.
Yes.
And we didn't get through half our questions, so we're definitely gonna have a part 2, 3. Might make it a little a monthly series or something. We'll come with something.
This was definitely a good one and enjoyable. So thank you to all of you, for all of you who have sent us super chats, Titus, all of you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Ray is Jamaican. He stays in Germany. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And we will see you on the next one. You'll see more of me and him in the future. Asante sana. Asante means thank you very much. Thank you, Esquad. Thank you,
Flight Crew.
the others from Vlog Tripping too.
See, my subscribers is part of the Flight Crew. You know what I mean?
So they're called Flight Crew?
They're part of the Flight Crew, you know what I mean?
Oh, thank you, Flight Crew.
I'm the pilot, so they part of the crew.
Wow, that's good. Mine, they are called Esquad. So thank you, Flight Crew. Thank you, Esquad. We appreciate all of you for engaging. We appreciate you for watching us for almost 3 hours. And for the super chat, Asante sana.
Yeah, we're working on the music. I gotta see what music I can license so that we don't get copywritten. But thank you guys.